To AC Nichols. AC, give us more details on this.
That's right, just moments ago, the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204 has issued an order for the issuance of an arrest warrant against Senator Leila de Lima and two of her co-accused, former Bucor Chief Rafael Ragos and her former aide Ronnie Daya. Now, we saw the actual document. It's just a one-page document, and it basically says that after careful evaluation of the information or of the charge sheet and all the evidence presented by the DOJ, the court finds sufficient probable cause for the issuance of an arrest warrant against the three individuals. It was signed by Branch 204 Judge Juanita Guerrero. But we were told by the branch clerk that this is not yet the actual arrest warrant. We're told that they also have prepared the document, the arrest warrant itself, but they have yet to release it, or they have yet to transfer it to the RTC sheriff, who will be tasked to deliver it to the law enforcement agency. So at this point, we're told that the document, the actual arrest warrant, is still here with Branch 204. So we're waiting for it to be issued at any moment now.
So, AC, this is just an order by the judge of Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court to issue an arrest warrant for Senator Leila de Lima and her co-respondents. But when will the warrant actually be issued? How long does this process usually take?
Well, we're told that they've already prepared it, so we're not certain what they're actually waiting for at this point. When we asked them if it will be issued today, they just said that there is a possibility that it will be issued, which is why we're also just on standby, monitoring the development here right outside the door of the office of the Clerk of Court of Branch 204. Now, as I said, I saw the document. It's just an order, and it's an order for the issuance of an arrest warrant, so it's not the actual warrant of arrest. And we also clarified that the document, which says that after careful evaluation of the charge sheet, that the judge is finding sufficient probable cause for an issuance of an arrest warrant. So I asked if this means that this is already a denial of the motion to quash filed by Senator Leila de Lima. The staff tells me that the motion to quash is actually still on the calendar. They will still proceed with the scheduled hearing for tomorrow. So I guess it means that this is not necessarily a denial already or a resolution of the motion to quash filed by Senator de Lima.
All right, thank you. AC Nichols reporting on the line from the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. We'll be bringing you more on this breaking news story in the succeeding newscast. Stay tuned for more here on CNN Philippines.
To issue a warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima, presiding Judge Juanita Guerrero of Branch 204 issued the order. That order saying, and we quote, after a careful evaluation of the herein information and all the evidence presented during the preliminary investigation conducted in this case by the Department of Justice, Manila, the court finds sufficient probable cause for the issuance of warrants of arrest against all the accused, Leila M. de Lima, Rafael Marcos Z. Ragos, and Ronnie Palisok Dayan. Wherefore, let warrants of arrest be issued against the above-mentioned accused. So ordered, City of Muntinlupa, February 23, 2017. That order signed by the judge. Joining us now is our AC Nichols to tell us more. AC.
Yes, Pia, as you said, the one-page document, the order for the issuance of arrest warrants for Senator de Lima and two of her co-accused have been released already, but we're told by court staff that this is not yet the actual arrest warrant. So that's what we're actually monitoring here, trying to see if the actual arrest warrant will be issued today. Apparently, the arrest warrants have been signed by Judge Guerrero already. The thing is, Tia, it's already almost, it's 5 o'clock, and the court staff, including the acting branch clerk of court, Attorney Sarce, she already left about 20 minutes ago. And we were talking to her, and I asked her if there's a possibility if the arrest warrant will still be released today. She explains that first, the court sheriff, which is the person tasked to turn over or to deliver the arrest warrant to respective law enforcement agencies, is not here because he was out on other matters or on other cases. So she says that they will probably just mail out the document or the arrest warrant, but she doesn't know if they'll still be able to do it today, considering that it's already closing time. The courts and the actual RTC is already closing at this point. So that's what's the latest from where I am right now. But a couple of staff are still inside the Branch 204 office of the clerk of court. So we don't know what they're doing. At this point, they've barred us from going inside because we've been trying to get as much information as we can. But we're not allowed to go inside anymore. But we're just monitoring. We're waiting to see if representatives from either the PNP or the NBI will be coming here to get copies of the arrest warrant so they can serve it by tonight. Yeah.
So waiting for some action there. But what you're saying is that court personnel are saying that the warrant of arrest, although already signed by Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero, has not yet been issued and has not yet, copies of that have not yet been given to law enforcement officials, and therefore there can be no arrest at this time?
Yes, Tia, that's what they're telling us, because when I asked if I can see the document, they said that we're not allowed to see it yet because the parties or the people who are supposed to actually have a copy of that document have yet to receive it, so they wouldn't even show it to us. But they said that it's already here it's with them. It's already been signed by Judge Guerrero, so it's ready for release, except that the court sheriff is not here, and he's supposed to be the one who's tasked to deliver that document to, as I said, law enforcement agencies who will be serving the arrest warrant. Now, I also clarified if this means that the motion to quash filed by Senator De Lima has been resolved already, because we know that after her cases were raffled off to the branches on Monday, that Senator De Lima filed respective motion to quash and motion for judicial determination of probable cause in all three branches. The clerk of court explained to us that the motion to quash is still on their calendar, and we actually saw a copy of the calendar for tomorrow, and it is on their PIA. So the scheduled hearing for Senator De Lima's motion to quash is still scheduled before the Branch 204 for tomorrow. So they're still going to take it up. That's why they're explaining to us that this is not necessarily a resolution of that pleading. Yeah.
All right, AC Nichols, we're going to be going back to you when you have a little bit more information there and any reports of any action taking place at the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204 that had just issued that order which found probable cause in this case against Senator Leila de Lima. Let's go now to George Cahiles. He is standing right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima at the Senate. George, what can you tell us?
Okay, Pia, we're still waiting here outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima here in the Senate, and we're waiting for updates on what's happening inside her office right now. But earlier, her media relations officer, Ferdy Maglalang, told us that upon learning that the court has issued a arrest warrant against the senator, she immediately talked to her lawyers. They're now discussing on the possible legal remedies that they will be doing in relation to that arrest warrant. Now, also, he told us that the senator is ready for anything that might happen today. And earlier, we also saw Senator Risa Ontiveros rushing inside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. She did not grant any interview, but she went inside the office. And also, Ferdy Maglalang also told us that they're still contacting the court, verifying the report, if it is indeed that the court has issued this warrant of arrest against the senator. And if it is true, it is possible that the senator might go straight to the court in Muntinlupa City. But so far, that's the latest. That's what's happening here at the Senate. We're still waiting if the senator will come out and give a statement regarding the arrest warrant that was issued by the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Branch 204.
Yeah, George, just to clarify, Senator Leila de Lima saying through her staff that she will be making a statement and she will be speaking to you in just a bit.
That's right. And we were told that we should just wait for the meantime while the senator is still talking to her lawyers or discussing the possible legal remedies, because they are actually questioning the immediate release of this arrest warrant. Because according to Maglala, they're questioning now why the court has immediately released this warrant of arrest. Well, in fact, if the judge, they have this information that the judge just arrived out. So they're wondering how come the court has immediately released this warrant of arrest if the judge has just arrived. So those are the things that they're discussing right now, and we're still waiting for further updates from the senator's camp. Yeah.
George, the door just opened a bit. Someone, I guess, looked out. Did you see who that was and what they, did you hear anything they said? What's going on inside?
Well, actually, the door of the office of the senator is now closed, and from time to time, her staff are coming in and out of her office, but we're having a hard time seeing the people inside her office. But as I've said earlier, we saw Senator Lisa Ontiveros rushed to her office earlier. She did not give any statement so far, but we're still waiting for her official spokesperson, her media relations officer, to give us updates on what's happening inside her office now. Yeah.
Right, George Cajiles, thank you very much. We'll get back to you when you have a little bit more information for us. In the meantime, let's go first to this. While the Liberal Party says Senator De Lima's cases should be under the jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre defends his department's decision to file the cases against her, the senator, and 7 others before a regional trial court. Here's Anjo Limario.
Ang pagkaalam ko po, this kind of offenses are not bailable because the penalty, if you are found guilty, is reclusion perpetua.
De Lima is facing 3 cases for violating the Dangerous Drugs Act in connection with her alleged involvement in the drug trade at the New Bilibid prison. Aguirre defends the filing of the cases with the lower court and not with the Sandigan Bayan.
These offenses belong to the exclusive original jurisdiction of the Regional Trial Court. Wala pong jurisdiction dito ang Sandigan Bayan.
Aguirre also says the complaint filed by the NBI against Kerwin Espinosa and De Lima was dismissed. This is in connection with Espinosa's allegation De Lima received money from him to fund her senatorial campaign. The DOJ panel instead directs the NBI to further investigate Kerwin's claim. The DOJ panel also dismissed the complaint against former Undersecretary Francisco Baraan due to insufficiency of evidence. Also, the charges against inmates Peter Co, Herbert Colango, and Gilberto Odorano, Jojo Baligat, and Vicente C. are dropped. They will serve as the prosecution's witnesses. Aguirre makes it clear there's nothing political in the filing of cases against De Lima.
Ito po ay hindi politika. Hindi po ito produkto ng politika. Ito po ay produkto ng trading sa droga.
Asked if he's confident De Lima will be convicted,
hindi po naman to file ng National Prosecution Service kung hindi mayroong probability na ito'y na siya ay mahatulan.
De Lima, for her part, is expected to put up a legal battle to block her arrest. Anjali Mario, CNN Philippines.
Breaking news for those of you who've just joined us. The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204, Juanita Tomas Guerrero, the judge, had ordered or had issued an order saying that she did find probable cause against Senator Leila de Lima and Rafael Ragos and Ronnie Palisok Dayan in criminal case 17-165. And that order also saying that, and we quote, and you can see it right there, wherefore let warrants of arrest be issued against the above-mentioned accused. Earlier, we were speaking to A.C. Nichols, and she was saying that court personnel at the Muntinlupa RTC were saying that the warrant of arrest had been signed, but it had not yet been given to law enforcement officials. At least that is what court personnel there at the Muntinlupa RTC were telling our A.C. Nichols. George Quiles is standing right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima, and he's saying that Senate security officers just a few minutes ago entered her office. Also, Speaker Alvarez, House Speaker Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez saying about this arrest warrant against Senator Leila de Lima, we quote, "Justice is working in our beloved nation," unquote. Right now, according to A.C. Nichols, she's telling us that court personnel still do not want to give any official word on this. Let's speak now to Senate President Aquilino Cojo Pimentel. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Can you tell us what is the exact situation there in the Senate, sir? Are there arresting officers right now there, or are they on their way? Have you been told? Yes, sir.
Pia, I'll give you second-hand information because I'm not in the Senate. No, I came from a meeting outside. So my information is that there is what we already know, that the RTC already issued an arrest warrant. But I have not received any report that law enforcers are already at the Senate premises. So so it's good that they're not yet there. So they can hear my appeal to them that for law enforcers who are out to serve the arrest warrant, they should coordinate with the Senate security upon reaching the Senate premises.
But when you say coordinate with Senate securities, Mr. Senate President, can you tell us, ano po ba yung patakaran ng Senado? Ang isang senador ba, tulad ni Leila de Lima, pwede po ba siyang arestuhin sa loob ng Senado? Or are there hindi pwedeng arestuhin sa loob lang ng plenary hall? Ano po ba yung patakaran?
Well, ang aming palisiya namin dyan, walang aresto sa loob ng Senate premises, hindi lamang habang session o nasa plenary hall. Pero with coordination sa Senate security, pwede naman ma-enforce pa rin ang warrant of arrest kasi magko-comply naman yung subject ng arrest warrant eh. O hindi naman po yan tatakas na mag-evade ng service ng arrest warrant. O siya po yung magko-comply, pero coordination lang po at pagdating ng law enforcers sa Senate premises, hanapin nila dapat ang chief security at ipakita yung what is their business there, ipakita yung arrest warrant. Then the chief security should now look for the subject person to show the arrest warrant and then mag-usap na what are the terms, how to serve the arrest warrant. Kasi iba-balance din natin yung duty naman ng mga police officers, utos kasi ng korte yan, for them to enforce the arrest warrant. And at the same time, we do not want any commotion inside the Senate premises kasi maraming mga government transactions dyan na nangyayari, maraming tao dyan na iba-ibang business nila, iba-ibang reason nila why they are in the Senate. So mayroong mga ibang businesses naman dyan na hindi naman puro it's about Leila de Lima. So walang disruption, walang commotion, walang physical incidents po dyan sa Senado dapat. Kaya nga coordination is the key, and another key word is respect. You have to respectfully enforce the arrest warrant.
Okay. Senator Pimentel, when was the last time you spoke to Senator Leila de Lima privately about this, and what have you agreed on?
Actually, I cannot remember talking to her about this. Kasi when I called for a caucus last Monday, she did not attend. And then before that, I was out of town for a couple of days, so I had no chance to talk to her. So matagal-tagal na po kami hindi nakikita ni Leila o nag-uusap
okay.
except lang sa session. Opo.
Yeah. Senator Pimentel, as a lawyer, can you explain this to us? Because may mga nagre-react na sabi bakit naman daw nag-issue ng order ang Muntinlupa Branch 204 saying that they found probable cause and that warrants of arrest will be issued when there is going to be a hearing already tomorrow. Can you explain to us what does this mean? Hindi naman precluded ang judge, no, or hindi naman napipigilan ang judge na mag-find ng probable cause kahit merong pending motion. Ganun po ba?
Ganun po 'yun. Actually nag-i-improve na ang sistema ngayon. Dati nga pag-file ng information, halos ino-automatic nga ang pag-issue ng warrant of arrest. At mabuti nga na-highlight na that under the 1987 Constitution, kailangan ng personal determination of the judge of probable cause so that before issuing the warrant of arrest. And so because na-highlight na yan, nagkakaroon na tayo ng time gap between the filing of the information and the issuance of the warrant of arrest. Kasi supposed to be yung time in between, yun yung oras na pinag-aralan ng judge yung kaso. So kahit may mga pending motions ka dyan, hindi magiging dahilan yun not to issue a warrant of arrest for as long as personally convinced ang judge that there is a case, there is a criminal case against the accused, and therefore kailangan it is the arrest which theoretically it is the arrest of the person which brings him before the jurisdiction of the court. So yung mga motions mo, pwede ko nang pakinggan because you are now rightfully before me. Yun po yun. Yun po yung theory behind that warrant of arrest.
Also, Senator Pimentel, ang warrant of arrest hindi naman kailangan physically ba na i-issue ng korte at dalhin ng isang tauhan o personnel ng korte sa law enforcement official na magsaserve ng warrant of arrest. Pwede na po ba ngayon yung email or fax? Ganun po ba yun?
But there must still be some proof of the warrant of arrest, and the best one is the original copy with the original signature of the judge, with the seal of the court. That should be with the arresting officers.
Okay.
Although some police are also authorized to arrest if they know the existence of a warrant of arrest. And then they will show it at the earliest possible time to the person arrested. Pero in this particular case, na napaka-high profile, I'm hoping that those serving the arrest warrant must have an original copy of the warrant of arrest.
Okay, and if they don't, what they have is a fax or an email, and I know that's a... So, paano po yan?
Pagdating nila doon, and that is what they can present sa chief security namin, pasensya sila. They should now get an official copy.
I see. So that would mean, if that is the case, if you're saying that, baka bukas pa mangyayari ang anumang pag-aresto.
Actually, I'm saying that even if meron silang original copy through negotiation, pwede pa rin bukas. Kasi ano naman ang masama kung bukas na i-enforce yan, lalo na kung it will make their job easier because the person is willing to surrender. So, lahat po ito pwedeng pakiusapan through proper coordination and respect. Ang importante na enforce ang warrant of arrest. Kasi hindi naman yan, not in all cases, the arrest is effected on the same day that the arrest warrant is issued. Hindi naman ganyan. Meron nga iba, 1 month, 5 months bago ma-aresto.
Ma-issuehan ng warrant. Okay.
Bago ma-aresto.
Bago ma-aresto.
Issuance.
Pero either surrender or there are some who will present themselves voluntarily or willingly to the court on their own. Pupunta na sa korte.
That's correct. That's correct. And Senator De Lima, in fairness to her, from her public pronouncements, yan naman din ang nakukuha kong message na that she has no intention to defy, evade, avoid, or hide from the warrant of arrest.
Okay. Well, Senator Pimentel, now that we're talking about that arrest, of course, then one of the next other questions is a place of detention. As far as you're concerned, as Senate President, Senator De Lima, being one of 24 senators, where do you think she should be detained?
That's for the court to decide. Ang nasa rules of court, arresting officer should bring the arrested person to the nearest detention center under their control. That would be a jail. But Senator De Lima has lawyers. They can file the proper motion to convince the court either to grant bail or to transfer or to determine the detention place. Ang Senate po, hands off na po kami dyan. Because I think she's properly represented.
Okay.
And competently, represented.
All right. Any final words, sir? Anything else you need to add?
Well, yun lang po yun. As of the moment, the issue now is the service of the warrant of arrest. The two keywords would be coordination and respect.
All right.
Yes.
Coordination and
Thank you
respect.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senate President Coco Pimentel. Let's speak now to House Speaker Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez. Speaker Alvarez, thank you very much for joining us now.
Hi, Pia. Magandang hapon po sa iyo.
Yes, just a while ago, Joyce Ila sent us a one-sentence statement from you, and I quote, you said, "Justice is working in our beloved nation." What is your message, sir?
Well, actually, yun na yung mensahe ko. Dahil nga dun sa nakikita natin na yung merong atraso sa bayan ay talagang kinakailangan panagutin.
Okay. What just a while ago, I was speaking to Senate President Coco Pimentel, and he was saying two key words here: coordination and respect. And he expects that the arresting officers will be bringing original copies of the warrant of arrest. And Senate President Pimentel is saying he doesn't expect any resistance on the part of Senator De Lima. What are your thoughts about that, sir?
Well, sa akin naman, alam naman ng arresting officer kung anong dapat nilang gawin. Tama po si Senate President Coco Pimentel na yung original copy talaga nung order ay yun ang kanilang i-serve doon sa tao.
What are your thoughts, Speaker Alvarez, now that Senator De Lima is, well, in so many words, on the receiving end now of the justice system?
Sa tingin ko naman, alam mo, pagka halimbawa mayroon kang ginawang krimen sa ating bansa, ay talagang kinakailangan pananagutan mo. Well, siguro nung mga panahon na yon na ginawa niya yon, well, akala niya ay pwedeng matakasan at siya na yung may kapangyarihang tao nung panahon na yon, since Justice Secretary siya. Well, bumaliktad lang siguro yung mundo talaga.
Although she, of course, denies that she received any money or issued any orders to that effect.
Well, lahat naman ng kriminal nagdi-deny na talagang ginawa nila yung criminal acts. Normal yan.
Okay. Speaker Alvarez, any other words you would like to share with us?
Well, sa akin naman, wala nang problema. Basta tapos na yung warrant of arrest at siguro harapin na lang niya yung kaso niya kaysa kung ano-ano pang palabas ang ginagawa niya.
All right. Speaker Bebot Alvarez of the House of Representatives, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Pia.
Yes, sir.
Kanina natanong mo rin kung saan, yung kung saan ikukulong?
Yung tanong ko kay Senator Pimentel. Yes.
Well, para sa akin, based on her actuations, dapat sa mental hospital dalhin yan.
I see. Okay.
Dahil mukhang nasisiraan ng bait eh.
Okay. Thank you very much, Speaker Bebot Alvarez. Salamat po, sir.
Maraming salamat.
All right. While we're waiting for our next phone interview, okay, Attorney Alex Padilla, a lawyer for Senator Leila de Lima, on the line right now. Attorney Padilla, thank you very much for joining us.
Opo. Yes, Pia. Thank you, Ren. Thank you po.
Yes. Sir, well, I suppose you've been able to speak to Senator de Lima by phone, at the very least, just a few minutes ago?
Well, no. Unfortunately, I haven't. Mukhang busy rin siya. And I'm not in the Senate office now. So yun na nga. But I know about the arrest warrant that was issued. No?
Yes. So, a lot of questions about, for example, some people saying, why does the judge issue an order that finds probable cause if there is still a hearing that is scheduled tomorrow on this motion to
Yes,
quash.
that-
No? Pero,
that's-
you know,
that's
like, well, Senator Pimentel saying it doesn't really matter. It doesn't stop the judge from issuing that order.
Yeah, well, actually, pwede naman talaga mangyari nun. Though I expected that when they filed the charges in the first place, no, yun last week, no?
Yeah.
Pero ito, ang nangyari dito is that she actually scheduled the hearing on the motions to quash, no? So, in fact, the prosecutors filed a motion to postpone the hearing tomorrow and schedule it for next week. So, for all intents and purposes, I assumed, no, of course, now wrongly, na she would at least try to pretend to hear our motion and then issue the warrant later on. Pero that was not to be, no?
Yeah,
So,
okay.
nag-issue kagad ng warrant. So,
Although that is not also irregular, right?
well,
Not
to
exact-
me, it's irregular, Pia, no?
Okay.
Dahil if you wanted to issue the warrant, no, you should have done it in the first instance when the charges were filed, no? That means you already saw the evidence and you already determined probable cause and all that. Pero ito ang ginawa niya, nakaka-insulto. Dahil she scheduled it for hearing and then issues the warrant nonetheless, no? So yun lang. So I think it is irregular,
Yeah.
no?
Attorney Padilla, in your discussions with Senator De Lima, your client, syempre pinag-usapan nyo what is the scenario when a warrant of arrest is issued.
Correct,
What
yes.
is the agreement? What is her position? She will willingly go with arresting officers or present herself to the court or not go willingly, not go voluntarily?
Hindi. I think naman she will respect the process. Sabi naman niya, she will be the first political prisoner of this administration. Tapos ang sabi rin niya, she would prefer that to present herself, no? Sana lang ma-assure rin yung detention niya na that she will be safe and secured. Yung mga ganon, ano? But now I don't really know what's happening now because I heard na meron raw law enforcement officers in the Senate waiting. So mukhang they are really going full dito na gusto pa siyang pahiyain or whatever.
Well, I was speaking to the Senate President just a while ago and he said, although he said parang medyo second-hand info ito dahil nasa labas daw siya ng Senado, wala naman daw doon sa Senado yung mga law enforcement officials na may dala ng order o ng warrant of arrest. And at the same time, Senator Pimentel was explaining na he would insist on an original warrant of arrest and not just a faxed or an emailed copy of that arrest.
That's good to hear. Dahil nga, when I heard him first, yun si Senator Pimentel, he was also saying na wag naman sa Senado mismo or sa mga inside the Senate, ano? Pwede sa labas, pero upon coordination. No? But that's correct. Kailangan original talaga.
Attorney Padilla, have you talked about where she would prefer to be detained? I mean, hindi naman where she would ask the court na pwede po siyang ma-detain.
Ang alam ko, I think some other people are trying to get in touch with the armed forces or baka naman pwede siya ma-detain doon, just like yung mga dating nakulong, yun dun sa, nakalimutan ko na yung lugar, basta where the armed forces are, and maybe the court will allow that, but I really don't know. I have no progress report on what happened there, kung meron man ganun na move, no?
Okay.
But I, of course, heard the Speaker Alvarez, and that's also unfortunate and insulting.
Okay. We're showing, Sir, Attorney Padilla, the actual order that Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero issued, and she says there, for all to see, that court finds probable cause in this.
Yeah.
And I suppose you disagree with that.
Of course I disagree. Dahil we had voluminous documents. Sabi ko nga, why would she schedule a hearing if she already found probable cause? Di sana dinerecho na niya. No? Ano ba yung bukas? Talagang moro-moro na lang, or baka gusto lang niyang Anyway, ang sabi ko nga, we even questioned the jurisdiction of our court, no? The main case, the main charge is drug trading. And I said, not one iota of evidence, not 1 gram of shabu, no listahan ng mga buyers, no money exchanging hands between buyers and sellers, nothing. Their only evidence were supposed to be pagtanggap ni Senadora ng pera galing sa mga ilang tao, no? Hindi man yung mga galing sa mga...
You're speaking of Rafael Ragos and the one who served as his driver.
In other words, paying help. But that's extortion. That's bribery. Assuming that they were correct, this is merely, well, not merely, no? This is bribery or extortion that is punishable. Punishable under the Ombudsman, Sandigan Bayan, and bailable. No? Pero pinilit nila drug trading para non-bailable and regular courts para hawak nila.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, Attorney Padilla?
Well, I think the senator naman has accepted her fate under this administration. Siguro, all we ask is that to be decent about it. Wag naman tayong ganito, no? It shows a lot about the character not only of our government but of the people in government, no, na hindi naman dapat umabot sa gantong atuhan, no? So we can all be decent about it and go through the motion properly, and pero mukhang that is not to be. So we just have to do what we can for the senator and hope for the best.
Attorney Alex Padilla, thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, po.
And this just in, also, our senior correspondent, Ina Andolong, sending in a statement from Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo, and we quote, "The issuance of a warrant for the arrest of Senator de Lima means the issuing court finds probable cause that she may have probably committed the crime charged. She should welcome this development herself, as she is now given the opportunity to refute any and all allegations and or evidence to be presented by the prosecution against her. This is where the real battle begins, and not in the media that she relishes to use against the president." If you bear with me, this is a rather long statement. I'll continue reading this. The rule of law, so we still quote from his statement, Panelo's statement, "The rule of law, as President Duterte keeps on harping every time he has the opportunity, must prevail, unlike when she meaning Senator de Lima, effected the arrest of former President GMA, Mrs. Arroyo. Despite the absence of a criminal charge and a warrant of arrest, she will now be arrested and detained pursuant to a warrant of arrest issued by a competent court." Further, Attorney Panelo says, and we quote again, "She is being given due process, which she shamelessly denied FPGMA," that means former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, when she was Secretary of Justice. "The law of karma has finally caught up with the senator in terms of being arrested and detained. She, however, remains constitutionally presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt, a presumption she viciously denied the critics of the previous administration," unquote. I just read to you a statement of Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo. Now, 5 months ago, the House of Representatives investigated the drug trade inside the New Bilibid prison. Witnesses claim Senator de Lima received drug money and used it to fund her 2016 senatorial campaign. Joyce Ilas takes a look back.
Several Bilibid inmates faced the House Committee on Justice investigating the proliferation of drug syndicates at the New Bilibid prison during the term of former Justice Secretary Leila de Lima. During the probe, alleged Bilibid drug lord J.B. Sebastian admitted that he gave de Lima, whom he called a protector, a total of 10 million peso worth of drug money from 2014 to 2015. Sebastian said the money was to be used for de Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Sinabi ko kay Secretary de Lima, "Ma'am, may bigay ako sa iyong pera, paano to? Kay Junel ko ba iabot?" Sumagot naman si Secretary de Lima na, "Hindi ko kasama si Junel ngayon, iwan mo na lang dyan."
Another witness, convicted drug lord Herbert Colango, claimed he gave de Lima 3 million pesos monthly to allow the entry of contraband inside the Bilibid. He said he also gave her 1 million pesos every time he held a concert inside the Bilibid.
Ang tatawag sa amin yan ay PR Payula po. Para lahat ng gusto namin mga kontrabando ipapasok. Golf cart, motor de corriente.
Other inmates also claimed personally giving de Lima millions worth of drug money.
Inabot ko na kay Secretary de Lima ang kahon na may lamang 1.5 million. At sinabi ko, "Ma'am, ito na po." Kinuha ito ni Secretary at inabot sa lalaking sumalubong sa akin.
I said, "Good morning, ma'am." She said, "Hi, Rafi." As long as we entered, then Ronnie handed the black bag. And she accepted it.
Other convicts meanwhile claimed that Sebastian and Colango ordered them to sell drugs inside and outside the Bilibid to fund De Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Alam ko na direktang para kay Secretary Leila de Lima mismo ang 1,500,000 piso at ito'y taasang inamin ni Herbert Colango sa akin.
De Lima's former driver turned lover Ronnie Dayan said he received money from alleged drug lord Kerwin Espinosa for De Lima. Dayan, however, said he did not know that Espinosa was a drug lord or how much money Espinosa was giving De Lima.
Inaabot po ang mga ito kay ma'am pagdating sa bahay. Sa mismong kwarto, automatic na po yan.
In the end, some congressmen seemed to be convinced that De Lima may have been involved in the illegal drug trade.
Here is a woman pretending to be clean, pretending to be a crime buster, a graft buster, a self-proclaimed righteous individual. Kailangan nating ipakita sa taong bayan kung anong klaseng tao ito.
But others question the motives and the inconsistencies in the statements of convicts turned witnesses.
Para sa akin kasi gusto mo lang sabihin yung pwede mong sabihin, pero yung pwede mong itago, itatago mo.
For De Lima, the statements of convicts were nothing but lies meant to destroy her.
My reputation has been untarnished until now when it's being unfairly and unjustly besmirched by all of these fabricated lies about my alleged involvement in the drug trade.
In October, the House Committee on Justice ruled in its report that all of the evidence pointed to De Lima's involvement and possible accountability in the illegal drug activities. Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
Joining us now by telephone, Dante Jimenez, chairman of the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, among the complainants in that case that was filed before Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa RTC and which just issued that order which found probable cause against Senator De Lima and others. That order issued by Juanita Tomas Guerrero, the judge of Branch 204. Mr. Jimenez, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, good afternoon, Pia.
Well, sir, what is your reaction?
Well, of course, finally, the wheels of justice will now start rolling, and we are happy that at least a judge, Juanito T. Guerrero of RTC Branch 204, have issued the warrant of arrest on the former Secretary of Justice, Leila de Lima, now Senator Rafael Marcos Z. Ragos, a former Deputy Director of the NBI, and the driver, bodyguard, that lover boy ni Ronnie Malisok Dayan, ang ating itong Senator De Lima ito.
Okay. A while ago, sir, we were speaking to Senate President Coco Pimentel, and he was saying there are two key words here, coordination and respect. All he's saying is that he wanted, well, in so many words, ayaw niya ng gulo, ayaw niya ng gulo no, sa Senate. And kailangan daw lang mag-coordinate ang law enforcement officials na may dala ng warrant of arrest sa Senado, kung sa Senado siya arestuhin, or if that is where the warrant of arrest will be served kay Senator De Lima, and respect. What do you think of that?
I would like to address this to Senate President Pimentel. If you know, let us respect the warrant of arrest, and I'm pretty sure the law enforcer will never force themselves in your premises. But please don't coddle an illegal drug trader who is a senator, supposed to be doing laws and protecting the children from these illegal drugs. You know, her problem is illegal drug trafficking, a very serious crime, which is the beginning of the production, manufacturing of this shabu that is being peddled in the streets, where millions of children are being victimized. So they become users, and later on they become pushers, and soon they become traffickers. This is a Senator De Lima who you are now housing. I hope the senators there will never coddle this the senator, and please, peacefully let her be volunteer to be to the law enforcer who's just waiting outside the Senate halls, so that she can be brought to the ordinary jail, hopefully.
Yeah, well, Mr. Jimenez, Senate President Coco Pimentel earlier was saying, and he has said it time and again, that they're not coddling Senator De Lima. And as a matter of fact, all he said was that he knew that the senator herself would be cooperative in this regard, at wala naman daw silang balak na i-coddle siya o protektahan. Ang ayaw lang niya may gulo doon sa Senado. Yun lang naman, no? Hindi niya sinasabing poprotektahan nila si Senator De Lima.
Well, to us, victims of illegal drugs, 80% of our victims in VACC are drug-related, Pia, and I hope they will understand that. We are very, very disappointed with a kind of senator who seemed to have been elected senator last election, but got her money allegedly from these drug traders in the New Bilibid prison. You could just imagine this sin that she has committed. And please, we would like to have this a very peaceful arrest. And I hope that tonight she will turn herself over peacefully to our law enforcers. Otherwise, there are many sectors who are really just waiting to arrest her by using the citizen's arrest.
What do you mean, sir? Like who? Who are you referring to?
Well, there are many.
Many?
Of course.
Okay. Among them, VACC.
Well, among them, victims of these illegal drugs.
Okay.
That's the thing there. You cannot control anymore the anger of the people, especially those who have been victimized by these illegal drug traders and drug lords. This is the problem of this country. We are tolerating this kind of evil existing in our country. Look at what's happening now in the countryside. Look at Catanduanes and Lipping province. You could see there a Shabu laboratory which could generate about 200 to 500 kilos a day with 6 hydro generators. 24 billion pesos can be produced out of that. When did this happen? During her term, during the time of Aquino. That's why many laboratories are still existing, and I hope that the president men in the PNP, NBI, PIDEA will double their effort, because marami pa po mga drug laboratories na built sa panahon nila.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Dante Menes, the Victims Against Crime and Corruption. Maraming salamat po, sir, for joining us.
Volunteers, not victims.
I'm sorry, volunteers. I'm so sorry. Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption. Salamat po, sir. Thank you for that correction.
Salamat po.
Joining us now also by telephone, one of Senator Leila de Lima's supporters and a former Social Welfare Secretary during the Aquino administration, Dinky Soliman. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, hello, Pia. Good afternoon.
Yeah, well, what can you tell us?
Well, first of all, I think this is a travesty of justice. I heard your interview with Jimenez, and he says that the victims of drugs are going to be the ones most angry. The evidence and their witnesses are drug lords. The drug lords that Senator De Lima had put to shame by putting it out that they were living a lifestyle of comfort, they were doing the trading. This was done during her time as the secretary. The evidence that they're saying is going to come from people who precisely victimize all those he said are victims of drugs. These are the drug lords who have been convicted by this very same court, who now are being given the treatment that De Lima had taken away during her time as Secretary of Justice. So I think this is a travesty of justice. And secondly, I think this is to make people forget that there is even a more explosive news that we should be paying attention to. that there is this man who had said, Las Cañas, that the president had actually asked him to kill people. We should not forget that. At the same time, I say Senator Leila de Lima is not guilty. The evidence they have on her is given by people who were the ones perpetuating the drug trade when they were outside of jail and when they were inside of jail. And it was Senator de Lima who brought that all out into public. So we believe that even the whole issue of jurisdiction was waylaid. We heard, it is alleged, that the judge who issued the warrant of arrest had just arrived. I wonder when she had the time to even study the accusations of BACC.
Well, I'm sure we're going to be getting some clarification on that very soon, if or when Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero chooses to speak up about this. In the meantime, Ms. Soliman, can you tell us, just a while ago, Dante Jimenez was saying that if Senator de Lima is not arrested right away, that, and we quote, there are many sectors are willing to arrest the senator using the citizen's arrest. Are you and others who are supporters of Senator de Lima and are closer and former, colleagues in the cabinet of the Aquino administration, are you planning anything to stay with her or to accompany her or whatever it is, ma'am?
We will be with her, and there are plans of how we can do that. But all I'm saying is that, and I'm appealing to the citizens who are watching and listening, look at the evidence that's being presented. Look at the past that has been done. Look at the current situation and tell us who is guilty. Tell us who is killing. Tell us who is protecting the big drug lords. Everyone who has been killed are pushers and users who are poor. Where are the drug lords?
Okay. So, ma'am, you're saying that you
I think is something to be reflected upon.
So you're saying, ma'am, among the charges were that she accepted money from Rafael Ragos when he delivered, supposedly, allegedly, money to her home in Parañaque. You're saying that you believe Senator de Lima when she denies that anything like that happened.
Yes, I believe her. Because who are these people saying? Drug lords and convicts.
No, Rafael Ragos, former NBI.
Yeah, but you know, what again is the history of this guy? I think the most important issue to us is there were actions that she has taken in the past that is consistent with exposing all of them. And the evidence and the witnesses that they are presenting are people who are tainted. And I think that this is something for the citizens to think about. This is pure harassment of the Duterte administration because they never, President Duterte himself has never stopped wanting to see her in jail.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman, one of the supporters and a former colleague also of Senator Leila de Lima when they were both in the cabinet of the Aquino administration. Thank you much. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Also, this just in, our AC Nichols, who is there at the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204, sending us a copy of the warrant of arrest. Well, this is the order earlier that we had shown, but we're going to try and bring it up, the warrant of arrest, in a moment. In the meantime, please bear with me. I will just read certain portions of them. This is dated February 23, 2017, and there's a time stamp on it, 5:00 p.m. Well, it's written, handwritten, the time. Criminal case number 17-165 for violation of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. Against De Lima, Ragos, and Dayan, a warrant of arrest addressed to, and we quote, any officer of the law. And it says, you are hereby commanded to arrest Leila M. De Lima, who is said to be at, and then it lists down her address, and who is charged before me with a crime of violation of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, etc. The order goes on to say, the bail for him, her, temporary liberty is hereby fixed at no bail. which may be furnished by him, her, either A, by depositing the amount, etc. But it says here no bail so far. Given, and then let me skip that entire paragraph. Last paragraph saying, given under my hand and the seal of the court this 23rd day of February, it is signed. This is an original copy. Juanita Tomas Guerrero, presiding judge of Branch 204. She is handling criminal case 17-165 against Leila de Lima, Ronnie Dayan, and Rafael Ragos. Okay, this we're showing live pictures. We're still at the our cameras and George Quiles there, correspondent George Quiles, right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. She's, we're told, inside there and conferring, discussing scenarios, etc., with her staff. A while ago, we were speaking to Attorney Alex Padilla, one of her lawyers. And we also just spoke to Dinky Soliman, supporter and a colleague, a former colleague of Senator Leila de Lima in the Aquino cabinet, saying that she believes that de Lima is innocent and that people should be paying more attention to another big story, which is the turnaround testimony of an SPO3 Las Cañas who talked about the Davao death squad. All right, let's with us. This is still CNN Philippines breaking news. I'm Pia Ontiveros. A warrant of arrest has been issued. The court, Branch 204, Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero just issued moments ago. The timestamp on it is 5:00 p.m., February 23. It is a warrant for the arrest of Leila M. de Lima. And it says in the second paragraph, the bail for him, her, temporary liberty is hereby fixed at, and then no bail. That is on in bold letters. This is exclusive to CNN Philippines. An arrest warrant is now out for Senator Leila de Lima. When you go to the bottom part of the page, you'll see that the last paragraph says, given under my hand and the seal of the court, this 23rd day of February 2017, it is signed, and there is a dry seal of the court signed by the judge, Juanita Tomas Guerrero, and you will see in a bit that dry seal of the court. Earlier, I was speaking to Senate President Coco Pimentel, and he was saying that he would like the arresting officers to bring an original copy of the warrant of arrest and not just an emailed or a faxed copy of that warrant of arrest. Now, let's speak now to one of Senator Leila de Lima's other colleagues and also a fellow Liberal Party senator, former Senate President and Senator Franklin Drilon. He's on the phone. Thank you, sir, very much for joining us.
Pia, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So I understand you're on the road, but you are on the way to the Senate.
Yes, I'm on the way to the Senate to
Yeah.
check on what the situation is.
Okay, well, what are your thoughts, your initial thoughts, sir?
Well, certainly I am saddened by this development, but as a lawyer, an officer of the court, I would advise, and I'm sure that Senator de Lima will do the same. We will respect the order of the court. I would advise Senator de Lima to respect the order of the court, but we will avail of all the legal remedies that are available to her. Bringing this matter to the Court of Appeals tomorrow. Seek a restraining order because he has raised jurisdictional grounds and ask the court to provide the appellate courts to provide her with the relief that she would need.
The matter will be brought to the Court of Appeals tomorrow, sir?
No, I'm not saying that. I am not the lawyer of...
that's just your advice. That is something that can be done.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Okay, but in the meantime... Yeah.
I don't want to substitute my judgment with that of a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm just,
You're just saying that is one of the remedies available.
That is one remedy available under the rules.
Okay, but
Whether
in the...
or not,
yes.
Oh, go ahead.
But in the meantime, like you said, as an officer of the law, which is what all lawyers are, like yourself, you're saying what is important is that the order of the court is respected, and that means that Senator de Lima should voluntarily surrender, turn herself in, present herself before the court, which is anyway what she has been saying also.
Yes. There's nothing else you can do at this point except the fact that there is a warrant of arrest, comply with it, and avail of the remedies that are outlined in our laws and the remedies available.
All right. Well, like you said a while ago, this is just your advice. It's not necessarily what her team of lawyers is considering. But if there is that possibility of seeking a restraining order from the appellate court, what happens in the meantime? Does she still have to surrender to the court? Does she still have to respond to that warrant of arrest, or can she evade that warrant of arrest first?
No. Well, she has to comply. I mean, she will not resist it, I'm sure. She will not resist the warrant of arrest. She has no choice at this point. But I asked the arresting officers to respect her rights, respect her office, make sure that she is safe, not harmed, provide her with the appropriate security, and but otherwise, because Senator De Lima, I'm sure, will comply with this.
Well, what are your thoughts, Senator Drilon, about the cases that were filed against Senator De Lima? Earlier, speaking to former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman, and she says she believes that Senator De Lima is innocent of all these charges. What do you think?
I don't want to comment on that. These are sub judice at this point. Already, the cases have been filed in court. Given the fact that I'm a senator, I don't want to be interpreted as interfering and using my position to interfere with the process of the court. All I'm saying is we're saddened by this development. I would advise Senator De Lima to comply with the warrant of arrest, avail of the remedies under the law at this point.
Yeah. What about your advisor for a place of detention?
Well, that is again up to the court, but I hope that the court can consider allowing her a house arrest. She is not a flight risk. The important thing is that she is under the custody of the court. Wherever the court would want to detain her is a matter for the court to decide. But how the court may or Senator De Lima may request the court that the detention be done in her house. And that is addressed, I would repeat, to the sound discretion of the court. But given the fact that she is not a flight risk, maybe the court can consider that.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator Frank Drilon. Salamat po, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Senator Drilon, they're saying that he hopes the court, meaning the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Branch 204, under Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero, can consider house arrest for Senator De Lima. Let's ask Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre, who joins us on the line, what he thinks of that. Secretary Aguirre, can you respond to that first? Secretary Aguirre?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
sir. Hi.
Yeah.
Secretary Aguirre, good afternoon po.
Yes.
Did you hear that, Senator Frank Drilon, saying that he hopes the court can consider house arrest for Senator Leila de Lima?
Yes, but I think that is, many will object to that because that is giving special privilege to an accused, which she herself has denounced just last week in connection with the treatment of the high-profile inmates in the AFP detention center in Campo Aguinaldo. Kaya bakit kayo hihingi ng special privilege kung sinasabi mo na hindi dapat magbigay? Bigyan yung mga akusado.
This is just the idea of Senator Frank Drilon. It is not something that came from Senator De Lima. But anyway, sir, you're saying na special treatment na yon kung bibigyan siya ng house arrest. At the same time, what would the Department of Justice think in terms of a place for detention?
Well, he herself has advanced the idea that he does not want the detained in the PNP custodial center, He said that he does not want to be detained in the AFP custodial center. And if that would be the case, then it would be the Muntinlupa RTC who will determine the place. Actually, it should be the court who should determine the place of arrest. But in other cases, in all other cases, less this special privileges of some individuals, it is the RTC who determines the place of arrest, and usually, in fact, almost 99% plus time, they are being ordered detained at the Muntinlupa City Jail.
Secretary Aguirre, there's quite a bit of discussion when it comes to the fact that the court, Branch 204, had scheduled a hearing tomorrow on the motion to quash that Senator De Lima's lawyers had earlier filed. At the same time, people saying that couldn't they just wait for that hearing? You know, why issue that order that finds probable cause and then issue that warrant of arrest? What do you make of something like this? Can you explain that to us, sir, in legal terms?
Well, it is not necessary that the hearing of the motion to quash would be to be finished, because the determination of probable cause could be done even without hearing the motion to quash. In this case, we have no doubt that the court will find probable cause against Secretary De Lima. Why? You'll ask why. Because Secretary De Lima did not file any counter affidavit. In other words, he filed no defense against the charges against her. And for which reason, if the court will review the documents before it for the issuance of warrant of arrest, he will only find the complaints of the complainants against her. The court will not find any defense there because Secretary De Lima committed a blunder. Her lawyers committed a blunder by submitting a counter affidavit including her defense. That he has nothing. He has no one but herself to blame for the predicament now.
Anything else you'd like to add, Secretary Aguirre?
Well, I think the Secretary of the Center should welcome this as an opportunity for her to clean her name, to clear her name, because he said that she's innocent of the charges. So let us proceed with the trial, and let's see if her defense is meritorious.
Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre of the Justice Department, thank you very much, sir, for joining us now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you also.
That breaking news, of course, Branch 204, Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court had issued a warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima on drug charges. Breaking news continues in a Network News special coverage at 6. I'll see you then. We have a copy of the warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima and also Rafael Marcos Ziragos and Ronnie Paisok Dayan. That warrant of arrest dated February 23, 2017. That is today. There was a time on it, 5 o'clock p.m. This is for criminal case 17-165 for violation of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, Section 5, etc. Of course, this warrant says in the second paragraph, and we quote, "The bail for him, her temporary liberty is hereby fixed at," and then it says no bail in bold letters, which may be furnished by him, her, either A, by depositing the amount, but of course, like we said, that warrant of arrest saying no bail. The third paragraph reading, "This is the last paragraph given under my hand and the seal of the court this 23rd day of February 2017. It is signed by Juanita Tomas Guerrero, the presiding judge of Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa RTC, and the dry seal of the a branch of the RTC is there, lower right-hand corner. Like we said, this warrant of arrest has been issued by Branch 204 for Senator Leila de Lima and two other people, namely Rafael Ragos and Ronnie Dayan. Joining us now, AC Nichols, who is still at the Muntinlupa RTC. AC, what else can you tell us?
Yes, Tia. Right now, there's not really much going on here. the judge and the clerk of court, or the acting clerk of court of Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204 left about 2 hours ago. There's still a couple of staff here, but they tell me that they're just basically finishing some work, not necessarily related to the case, to the drug case of Senator De Lima, but in relation to other cases. So they're just basically on overtime. Right now, we're just monitoring. We're waiting if some law enforcement representatives will be coming over to get a copy of the arrest warrant, but there may be no need for that because they've already transmitted the document to whoever will be serving it, and we already got a copy of it from our sources. So right now they're telling us that there's no really need to wait here anymore, that nothing's going to happen except for tomorrow. They are expecting for representatives from both parties, from the DOJ and from the representatives of the accused to appear before the court for the scheduled hearing that's on the motion to quash filed by Senator Leila de Lima, as well as her co-accused, Rafael Ragos, also has a motion to quash before the court. Pia.
Yes, you've been reporting in the last few days, last few weeks. This is, of course, not just, not the only case that is filed there at the Muntinlupa RTC. There are two more, case 17-166 and 167, filed before branches 205 and 206. Is there any news about what happened to these cases?
As far as that's right, Pia. She also has pending cases before branches 205 and 206. But as far as those two branches are concerned, last we checked before the court closed, there's no movement, there's no development in the cases. All they told us is that the motions or the pleadings filed by Senator De Lima are still on their calendar for tomorrow morning. All three branches have set these motions for tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Though I have to mention that the DOJ or state prosecutors have filed motions to reset the hearing for those motions from tomorrow to March 3. I believe that's on Monday, because apparently they have a legal seminar to attend tomorrow, which is mandatory for all prosecutors. So still, despite the motions to reset that they filed today, particularly this morning, the court staff tells us that the motions, particularly motion to quash and motion for judicial determination of probable cause filed by the senator on Monday, is still on their calendar. And we've seen the calendars in all three branches. The hearing is, in fact, still included in the cases to be taken up by the courts at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So there's no telling whether or not the judges will first take up the motion to reset and then eventually decide to move the hearing to a later date, to Monday, or it's also a possibility that the judge will deny or not allow the reset as requested by state prosecutors.
So,
yeah.
So AC, whether that hearing on the motion to quash is going to be held tomorrow, February 24, or March 3, like you said, is this is going to be a consolidated hearing? Is that the term for it? Because you were saying all three branches, 204, 205, and 206, are going to hear this.
No, it's not going to be a consolidated hearing. These are separate courts. So it's going to happen at the same time, basically. Three courts will have a hearing
simultaneous.
at 8:30. Simultaneous hearing tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning.
All right. Well, thank you for clarifying that. Thank you very much, AC Nichols. If anything comes up, we'll be getting back to you very soon. Salamat po, AC Nichols there reporting from the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. What you're seeing on the left-hand side of your television screens is a live shot just outside Senator Leila de Lima's office. She is still, we are told, inside her office conferring with the staff, and we are presuming some lawyers. We were told also a while ago that Senator Kiko Pangilinan had entered the office a while ago. Also, about 15 minutes ago, we were speaking to Senator Frank Dulon, who is on his way to the Senate. Both of them, Senator Kiko and Senator Frank Dulon, Liberal Party allies of Senator Leila de Lima. Senator Dulon says that when he gets there to the Senate, he'll look at how things are going. Senator Dulon also was saying that he hopes that the court, in this case Branch 204, which had issued the warrant of arrest after finding probable cause in this case, would consider house arrest for Senator Leila de Lima. In the meantime, let's speak first to Barry Gutierrez, a former Akbayan Party List representative. Attorney Gutierrez, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, that's my pleasure, Pia.
Well, what can you tell us right now? What are your thoughts about this?
Well, this was expected since last week after the Department of Justice filed the three informations against Senator de Lima. We have been expecting the warrants of arrest to issue. So the issuance this afternoon does not really come as a surprise. It's the expected next chapter in this campaign of persecution that the administration seems determined to push against Senator de Lima. And I say that based on the contents of the informations filed last week. If you go through them, they're really very, very weak. The basis is purely the testimonies of convicted drug lords who are currently incarcerated in Muntinlupa, and even the allegations themselves contained in the three informations don't seem to actually jibe with how drug trafficking, drug trading is defined under the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. So it's very, very clear that this is a political vendetta being pursued against the senator, and this is just the next chapter to it.
You're saying that the government doesn't have a case against Leila de Lima?
I think that it's fairly clear that any cursory reading of the informations would demonstrate to any halfway decent lawyer that the charges are really improper and are anchored on a very, very flimsy basis. I think that if there will be an honest-to-goodness review, a hearing on the motions to quash, these cases should actually be dismissed. It's probably more appropriate, given the allegations, that this be taken up by the Office of the Ombudsman and filed before the Sandigan Bayan and not the Regional Trial Court, based on the allegations, even if we take the allegations in the information as true.
So you're saying, Attorney Gutierrez, that even if, for example, in one of the cases, Rafael Ragos testifying that he, together with one other NBI personnel, delivered money to the home of Senator Leila de Lima, that this is not enough, that this is not evidence against her?
Well, the evidence itself will have to be assessed by the court. But, just to take a look at that allegation. The allegation is that money was delivered to her home. Even if we accept that that's true, for the sake of argument, how does that establish a case for drug trading? Because that's what she's being charged with. She's not being charged with direct bribery. She's not being charged with assassination or any other crime committed as a public officer. She's being charged as a drug trader. So, in other words, a person who directly participated in drug trafficking. Yeah. And if you look at the allegations, even if you assume all of them are true and all of them can be proven with adequate evidence,
that's
they
not what she's being charged for.
They don't support
saying,
that crime. It's a different crime altogether.
Yeah. So you're saying different crime altogether. So you're saying that if the crime charged, if the charge was, like you said, bribery, then that would be correct.
Well, if you base it on the allegations, yes. But the thing is, if it's bribery, then it shouldn't be with the RTC. It should be with the Ombudsman, filed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and brought before the Sandigan Bayan, which I believe is actually one of the grounds that Senator de Lima's legal team raised in the motions to quash that they filed before these courts.
Okay. Well, what do you think of many comments, online, offline, etc.? People saying that now it is Senator Leila de Lima and the Liberal Party claiming political persecution, when this is exactly what she and the other LP officials did to their opponents or their critics.
Well, it's expected that they will say that. But at the end of the day, the value of that kind of assertion will have to be weighed in relation to the contents of what the charges actually are. So, for example, if people talk about the prosecution of the late Chief Justice Renato Corona as a political vendetta, then let's look at the case. Let's look at the basis. And everybody is familiar with that case. It was subject to a very, very high-profile impeachment trial before the Senate. And I think that in that particular instance, it was clear that there was a basis for pursuing cases against him. But in this particular instance, it's very, very different. The charges themselves seem to be improper. And it seems na medyo pinili talaga na gawing drug trafficking. So that's really the question. Why insist on denominating the crime as drug trafficking? Obviously, there is some kind of political motive to it.
Just one last brief question to Gutierrez. Sure. One of the questions earlier I had asked of several people I interviewed about 45 minutes ago was related to place of detention. Senator Frank Drilon saying he hopes the court can consider house arrest. Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre saying that if that is the request that will be made by the defense, that they will object to this. Also, when I spoke to Speaker Alvarez earlier, he was saying that, he didn't mince any words. He said that she should be detained in a mental hospital.
Well, obviously, Speaker Alvarez is once again saying something completely out of bounds of what the law provides. She's being charged with a crime under our penal law. So obviously, a mental hospital is out of the question. But right now, it's really up to the court. My understanding is Senator De Lima has been prepared ever since these cases were filed to go to a regular jail, if that is what the court will decide. Yes. I don't know whether they will actually ask for house arrest or detention in some other facility. But she's prepared to go to jail, to a regular jail, for her principles. She's going to stand by the idea that this is really political vendetta, and she's willing to pay that particular price. That's what it takes to actually expose it for what it is.
Barry Gutierrez, former Akbayan Party List representative, thank you very much for joining us by phone.
Okay, anytime, Tia.
In the meantime, we have a statement sent in by one of our senior correspondents, Ina Andalong. The statement from presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella on the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima. It is a short two-paragraph statement. Allow me to read this. We quote, "A Muntinlupa court has already issued a warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima for her alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade. Senator de Lima will now have her day in court where she will have full opportunity to prove her claim of innocence," unquote. That statement from presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella from Malacanang. We are showing you again the warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima issued by Branch 204. Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero issued today, February 23, 2017 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This after the order which said that Judge Guerrero found probable cause for these charges against Senator Leila de Lima. That warrant for arrest, the order was also not just for Senator de Lima, but also for Rafael Ragos and Ronnie Dayan. Still also media waiting right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima at the Senate. They haven't seen her yet, but we understand that she is inside that office conferring with her staff members and some lawyers. These are live pictures that you're seeing right now, just right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima, against whom or for whom a warrant of arrest has been issued by Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero, Branch 204, Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. We're going to take a short break. CNN Philippines will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. CNN Philippines breaking news. A warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima and two others have been issued by Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. That is the Muntinlupa City Hall of Justice. Live pictures from there that you're seeing right now on your screens. The RTC Branch 204 under Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero had just issued a warrant of arrest shortly after issuing an order where Judge Guerrero said she finds probable cause. The warrant for arrest says no bail for Senator Leila de Lima. We also have live pictures from just right outside the office of Senator de Lima. That looks like some graphics, one for Leila. It is the O in one looks like a blue ribbon, similar to a yellow ribbon. We're going to have someone give a little more explanation about what that means. In the meantime, media, among them George Cahilas, waiting right outside and or on the Senate grounds. We're going to go to him right now so we can get a little bit more information. George, can you tell us? What else can you tell us?
Yeah, currently we're here outside the Senate building, and everybody here is anticipating for updates on what's going to happen after the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204 has issued this warrant of arrest against Senator Leila de Lima. So far, the security here is just the same as the normal security here. You have yet to see policemen in the area, although there are some security officers at the main entrance of the Senate building, as well as at the parking area. But the action is actually happening upstairs at the 5th floor of the Senate building, where the office of Senator Leila de Lima is located. So media men are still anticipating for updates on what is going to happen next after the court has issued a warrant of arrest against Senator Leila de Lima. So far, her media relations officer, Ferdy Maglalang, told us that the senator is inside her office. She's talking to her lawyers now, discussing their next move in relation to this possible arrest of the senator. Now, Maglalang was telling us earlier that they are questioning the release of this warrant of arrest against the senator, given the fact that the judge, according to them, just arrived from Macau. And they're asking how come that the court has already issued this warrant of arrest when the judge has just arrived here in the country. And if it's true that the warrant of arrest will be served today, Maglalang was telling us earlier that the senator initially is planning to go to the court to personally present herself there. But we all know that courts close at 5 in the afternoon. So we're still waiting if the camp of Senator Leila de Lima had made arrangements with the court, if they will wait for her there, or if they plan something else. Now, so far, Senators Ontiveros and Pangilinan rushed to the office of Senator Leila de Lima right after they learned that a warrant of arrest was already issued against her. Now, prior to this development, the senator attended the G. Ikju kidnapping slay case hearing at the Senate earlier, and where she participated, and she actually gave her inputs and insights on the case. And after that, after the suspension of the hearing at around 3 in the afternoon, she went back to her office, had lunch, according to Maglalang, until the news on her the release of her warrant of arrest broke out. So currently, Pia, we're still waiting for the next move of the camp of Senator Leila de Lima, what they're going to do next, and the possible actions of her legal team. Pia.
Right, George Cahilas there reporting from the Senate, telling us that, like we've been saying since earlier, that Senator de Lima is still in her office speaking to staff, fellow senators and lawyers, just waiting there inside. Also, earlier we spoke with Senate President Coco Pimentel. He said under Senate policy, no arrest shall be made inside the Senate premises. He says law enforcers should coordinate with Senate security for any move to arrest de Lima.
Ang aming palisiya namin dyan, walang aresto sa loob ng Senate premises, hindi lamang habang session o nasa plenary hall. Pero with coordination sa Senate security, pwede naman ma-enforce pa rin ang warrant of arrest kasi magko-comply naman yung subject ng arrest warrant O hindi naman po yan tatakas na mag-evade ng service ng arrest warrant. O siya po yung magko-comply, pero coordination na po at pagdating ng law enforcers sa Senate premises, hanapin nila dapat ang chief security at ipakita yung what is their business there. Ipakita yung arrest warrant. Then the chief security should now look for the subject person to show the arrest warrant and then mag-usap na what are the terms, how to serve the arrest warrant. Kasi iba-balance din natin yung duty naman ng mga police officers, utos kasi ng korte yan, for them to enforce the arrest warrant. And at the same time, we do not want any commotion inside the Senate premises kasi maraming mga government transactions dyan na nangyayari. Maraming tao dyan na iba-ibang business nila, iba-ibang reason nila why they are in the Senate. So meron mga ibang businesses naman dyan na hindi naman puro it's about Leila de Lima. So walang disruption, walang commotion, walang physical incidents po dyan sa Senado dapat.
CNN Philippines also spoke earlier to House Speaker Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez, and he says it is high time for Senator de Lima to face the charges filed against her.
Kahalimbawa, meron kang ginawang krimen sa ating bansa, ay talagang kinakailangan pananagutan mo. Well, siguro nung mga panahon na yon na ginawa niya yon, well, akala niya ay pwedeng matakasan. At siya na yung may kapangyarihang tao nung panahon na yon, since Justice Secretary siya. Well, bumaliktad lang siguro yung mundo talaga.
House Speaker Alvarez also suggests that de Lima be detained in a mental institution instead. Now, while the Liberal Party says de Lima's cases should be under the jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre defends his department's decision to file the cases against her and 7 others before regional trial court. Here's Angelo Mario.
Ang pagkaalam ko po, this kind of offenses are not bailable because the penalty if you are found guilty is reclusion perpetua.
De Lima is facing 3 cases for violating the Dangerous Drugs Act in connection with her alleged involvement in the drug trade at the New Bilibid prison. Aguirre defends the filing of the cases with the lower court and not with the Sandigan Bayan.
These offenses belong to the exclusive original jurisdiction of the regional trial court. Wala pong jurisdiction dito ang Sandigan Bayan.
Aguirre also says the complaint filed by the NBI against Kerwin Espinosa and de Lima was dismissed. This is in connection with Espinosa's allegation de Lima received money from him to fund her senatorial campaign. The DOJ panel instead directs the NBI to further investigate Kerwin's claim. The DOJ panel also dismissed the complaint against former Undersecretary Francisco Baraan due to insufficiency of evidence. Also, the charges against inmates Peter Co., Herbert Culango, and Gilberto Odorano, Jojo Baligat, and Vicente C. are dropped. They will serve as the prosecution's witnesses. Aguirre makes it clear there's nothing political in the filing of cases against de Lima.
Ito po ay hindi politika. Hindi po ito produkto ng politika. Ito po ay produkto ng trading sa droga.
Asked if he's confident de Lima will be convicted.
Hindi po naman to file ng National Prosecution Service kung hindi merong probability na ito'y na siya ay mahatulan.
De Lima, for her part, is expected to put up a legal battle to block her arrest. Angelo Mario, CNN Philippines.
The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Branch 204, issuing at 5 o'clock this afternoon, February 23, 2017, Thursday, a warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima on drug charges. Those are live pictures right now from the Senate. That is Senator Bam Aquino entering the office of Senator de Lima, where she is conferring with staff, colleagues at the Senate, and lawyers. We're going to take a very short break. CNN Philippines will be right back. Stay with us. Live pictures from just outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. On the door of her office, an illustration, graphics that says one for Leila. The O in one looks like a blue ribbon, very similar to the yellow ribbon that was a symbol of the Liberal Party and of former President Noynoy Aquino during the 2010 campaign. Inside or behind that door, inside Senator De Lima's office, the senator herself speaking with some of her colleagues from the Liberal Party and allies of the Liberal Party, speaking also to her staff and some lawyers, we're told. Live pictures there still. At the same time, we want to show you also live pictures from the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, because that is where Branch 204 Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero had issued a warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima on drug charges. Criminal case 17-165 was brought before Judge Guerrero's sala. Earlier, she issued an order that said that she found probable cause for these charges, and at 5 o'clock this afternoon, that warrant of arrest was issued and signed by Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero. You'll see the right-hand side of your screen. It says no bail for Senator Leila de Lima. Also, AC Nichols, our justice correspondent, reporting earlier that a motion to quash hearing had been scheduled for tomorrow by each of the branches, 204, 205, and 206. We all know that cases had also been filed before those two other branches. Branch 205 under Amelia Fabros Corpus, the judge, and Branch 206 under Judge Patria Manalastas de Leon. Cecil Lardizabal joins us now from the Senate. Cecil, what can you tell us?
Hi, Pia. Right now, we are on standby outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. We were told that anytime soon they'll be giving out a statement from the senator. We haven't heard any word from her up to this time. We have been waiting for about an hour or so, but we just saw personnel from the office of the Sergeant at Arms enter the office of the senator. Also, Senator Rita Ontiveros a while ago. We also we have seen Senator Kiko Pangilinan and Senator Bam Aquino went inside the room of Senator De Lima. Let us remember that those are the three senator members of a Liberal Party. Now, from what I understand from the protocol, as soon as the arresting officers will arrive, they will directly go to the office of the Sergeant at Arms and then the police.
Cecil?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. What are you saying? They will go to the office?
Yes, that's right, Pia. And then the arresting officers will, along with the personnel of the Office of Sergeant at Arms, will directly go to the office of Senator De Lima to serve the warrant of arrest. But we have yet to hear from the arresting officers arrive at the Senate. We are all standing by and waiting for any word from the arresting officers at this time, Pia.
Cecil, can you tell us a little bit more about that graphics illustration that is taped onto the door of Senator Leila de Lima? It says one for Leila. The O in one looks like, instead of a yellow ribbon, a blue ribbon.
Yeah, we are seeing now blue ribbon posted outside the office of the senator. And, last week, all of the staff of the senator, they're wearing black, and also they're wearing blue ribbon. They're telling us that it's a sign of hope. They are hoping that, a warrant of arrest. They wouldn't want, a warrant of arrest be served against the senator, but now, we've had a lot of interviews with the senator, and she's been saying that she won't resist arrest. She will go to, when the warrant of arrest is served to her, she will go with the arresting officers and with the OSA personnel.
All right. Cecil, anything else you can add?
At this point in time, we're all standing by. We are, getting to see some people walking inside the room of the senator. We have yet to hear any word from the senator, and right now we are seeing Senator Franklin Drilon entering the office of the Senator Leila de Lima.
All right. Cecil Rizabal there reporting from the Senate just right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. Senator de Lima, of course, as we know, a warrant for her arrest has been issued by the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Branch 204, as Cecil reported. Senator's allies of Senator de Lima inside with her, and for one, Senator Frank Rulon had just arrived about 30-45 minutes ago. We were speaking with him, and he said he was on his way to the Senate. He was going straight to Senator de Lima's office to speak with her. Also, Bam Aquino and other senators inside there with Senator de Lima. This just an hour after the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204, Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero had issued or had ordered the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima and two others for criminal case 17-165 drug charges. That warrant of arrest we were showing you earlier said no bail for Senator Leila de Lima. In the meantime, we're waiting for more information. But first, 5 months ago, the House of Representatives investigated the drug trade inside the New Bilibid prison. Witnesses claimed Senator de Lima received drug money and used it to fund her 2016 senatorial campaign. Joyce Ilas takes a look back.
Several Bilibid inmates faced the House Committee on Justice investigating the proliferation of drug syndicates at the New Bilibid prison during the term of former Justice Secretary Leila de Lima. During the probe, alleged Bilibid drug lord J.B. Sebastian admitted that he gave de Lima, whom he called a protector, a total of 10 million peso worth of drug money from 2014 to 2015. Sebastian said the money was to be used for de Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Sinabi ko kay Secretary de Lima, ma'am, may bigay ako sa iyong pera, paano to? Kay Junel ko ba iabot? Sumagot naman si Secretary de Lima na hindi ko kasama si Junel ngayon, iwan mo na lang dyan.
Another witness, convicted drug lord Herbert Colango, claimed he gave de Lima 3 million pesos monthly to allow the entry of contraband inside the Bilibid. He said he also gave her 1 million pesos every time he held a concert inside the Bilibid.
Ang tatawag sa amin yan ay PR Payula po. Para lahat ng gusto namin mga kontrabando ipapasok. Golf cart, motor de corriente.
Other inmates also claimed personally giving de Lima millions worth of drug money.
Inabot ko na kay Secretary de Lima ang kahon na may lamang 1.5 million. At sinabi ko, ma'am, ito na po. Kinuha ito ni Secretary at inabot sa lalaking sumalubong sa akin.
I said, good morning, ma'am. She said, hi, Rafi. As long as we entered, and Ronnie handed the black bag. And she accepted it.
Other convicts meanwhile claimed that Sebastian and Colango ordered them to sell drugs inside and outside the Bilibid to fund de Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Alam ko na direktang para kay Secretary Leila de Lima mismo ang 1,500,000 piso at ito'y taasang inamin ni Herbert Colango sa akin.
De Lima's former driver turned lover Ronnie Dayan said he received money from alleged drug lord Kerwin Espinosa for de Lima. Dayan, however, said he did not know that Espinosa was a drug lord or how much money Espinosa was giving de Lima.
Inaabot po ang mga ito kay ma'am pagdating sa bahay. Sa mismong kwarto, automatic na po yan.
In the end, some congressmen seemed to be convinced that de Lima may have been involved in the illegal drug trade.
Here is a woman pretending to be clean, pretending to be a crime buster, a graft buster, a self-proclaimed righteous individual. Kailangan nating ipakita sa taong bayan kung anong klaseng tao ito.
But others question the motives and the inconsistencies in the statements of convicts turned witnesses.
Para sa akin kasi gusto mo lang sabihin yung pwede mong sabihin, pero yung pwede mong itago, itatago mo.
For de Lima, the statements of convicts were nothing but lies meant to destroy her.
My reputation has been untarnished until now, when it's being unfairly and unjustly besmirched by all of these fabricated lies about my alleged involvement in the drug trade.
In October, the House Committee on Justice ruled in its report that all of the evidence pointed to de Lima's involvement and possible accountability in the illegal drug activities. Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
Let's now speak to University of Santo Tomas Law Dean Leila de Lima via Viber call. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Hi, Pia. Good evening.
Well, Dean, can you tell us, several people are defending Senator de Lima, saying it's a little bit unusual for Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero to have issued that order, finding probable cause and issuing a warrant of arrest just hours or days, perhaps a few days after having arrived from abroad. Can you explain to us why things are like these? Things are like this.
Well, once the information is filed in court, the judge is required to determine for himself whether or not there's probable cause to issue warrant of arrest. And usually this doesn't take long for the judge to evaluate, based on the records, if there is probable cause for the issuance of the warrant of arrest.
Well, Dean, ang punto...
Sorry?
Sorry, ang punto po kasi ng mga dumidepensa kay Leila, kararating lang naman daw mula sa abroad si Judge Guerrero at nakapag-issue na raw kaagad ng order at ng warrant of arrest. Or is there some other way that judges are able to read whatever has been filed in their court?
Well, if the motion was to determine probable cause, then the judge should have taken time to weigh the arguments of the plaintiff. But in this case, I think what was filed is a motion to quash the information for lack of jurisdiction. So that did not stop perhaps the judge from issuing the warrant of arrest. And ordinarily, it doesn't take long for the judge to issue warrant of arrest because that is supposed to be a summary proceeding to determine for himself whether or not there is probable cause to issue warrant of arrest.
Summary proceeding. So it's not an unusual thing.
It's not unusual for a judge to issue the warrant of arrest upon filing the information in court.
Well, another concern of those who are on the side of Senator Leila de Lima, like you mentioned, the motion to quash, this hearing scheduled tomorrow in branches 204, 205, and 206. Why is it that the judge would issue an order, at least Judge Guerrero of 204, when there is that pending hearing on that motion to quash? Can you explain why this is still possible?
Well, as I said, had the motion been one of to determine probable cause and then to quash the information, because you can file an omnibus motion. An omnibus motion means it raises various grounds or arguments. If what was filed is just a motion to quash and not to prevent the issuance of the warrant of arrest, then the court, I think, has the discretion to issue the warrant of arrest pending determination of that motion to quash the information.
Dean Divina, kanina po, kausap ko si Barry Gutierrez, a former Akbayan party list representative, and he was saying na dapat daw ang chinarge na lang kay Senator Leila de Lima ay, for example, direct bribery, kung ang pag-uusapan daw ay yung pag-deliver daw ng pera ni Rafael Ragos at ng isa pang tao sa bahay niya sa Parañaque, sa Muntinlupa. Is that a relevant argument na dapat yun ang kinaso at hindi drug charges?
I think it's a relevant argument, but I think that should be raised now in the Court of Appeals. So I'm sure the lawyers of Senator de Lima are preparing the appropriate petition with the Court of Appeals because they have to contend with the fact that the judge made that ruling, the judge issued the warrant of arrest. So while it can be argued one way or the other, I think it's best for them to go up right away to the Court of Appeals and to quash the issuance of the warrant of arrest.
Well, that is also what Senator Frank Drilon was telling me earlier when we spoke to him about an hour ago, that perhaps that is one of the legal remedies that she can avail of to bring this to the Court of Appeals and seek a restraining order. But my question is, if they decide to do that tomorrow, does that stop or rescind? I'm not entirely sure about the warrant of arrest.
Yeah.
Hindi, diba? It's still alive. Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, PA does not stop the implementation of the warrant of arrest unless Senator de Lima can get a TRO from the Court of Appeals. So if the arguments are solid based on the perspective of their lawyers, I think first thing tomorrow morning, they should go up to the Court of Appeals and get a TRO to restrain the implementation of the warrant of arrest.
Okay,
but I think their best shot is a CA and not with the court that issued the warrant of arrest.
But from 5 o'clock this afternoon, February 23, 2017, Thursday, until the time they can get a restraining order if they do go to the Court of Appeals. That warrant of arrest can be served at any point.
Yeah, it can be implemented because, as you know, parliamentary immunity doesn't apply if the imposable penalty is more than 6 years, as in this case.
Okay. What else is it that we need to understand, Dean Divina, about this case and all these legal procedures that are important to remember?
Well, because the warrant of arrest has been issued, once the court acquires jurisdiction over Senator De Lima, then the next step is to arraignment, or for arraignment rather. In that arraignment, she'll be asked if she's guilty or not. Of course, she will say not guilty. And then after that, there will be a pre-trial, then trial, presentation of evidence by both the prosecution and defense, and then judgment. But I don't think Senator De Lima would go that far. I'm sure at this point, she's already thinking of, I'm sure not just thinking, but preparing to file a petition with the CA to get an injunctive relief against the RTC, warrant of arrest. I think the best remedy is not to fight with the RTC because it has already sort of made up its mind on the issue of the warrant of arrest. So I think the best remedy is to go up to the CA and then convince the CA that it was wrong on the part of the RTC to have issued the warrant of arrest.
Dean Nilo Divina, University of Santo Tomas. Maraming salamat po, Dean, for joining us.
Thank you, Bia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Just to recap, an order Senator Leila de Lima has been arrested by Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero signed that warrant of arrest at 5 o'clock this afternoon, today, Thursday, February 23, 2017. It says, you can see, second paragraph, first line, the bail, no bail, in bold letters. We're going to take a short break. CNN Philippines Breaking News will be right back. We'll have more when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back, CNN Philippines Breaking News. These are live pictures just in front of the building, the Senate of the Philippines in Pasay. A little bit of the movement there now that the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Branch 204, Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero had issued a warrant for the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima. Senator Leila de Lima still inside her office speaking to several of her colleagues and her staff and some of the lawyers. She's inside her office. There is as yet no clear information as to whether there are law enforcement officials inside Senate premises that will be serving that warrant of arrest on Senator de Lima. These are live pictures just right outside the office of Senator de Lima. You can see, as we had been pointing out earlier, a sign on the door that was taped onto the door. It says "1 for Leila." The O in the 1 is a blue ribbon, very similar to the yellow ribbon that the Liberal Party and former President Noynoy Aquino used during the 2010 campaign, the presidential campaign. And speaking of the Liberal Party, there is the Liberal Party senators had issued a statement on the on the pending arrest of Senator Leila de Lima. And let me read it for you. This is dated of today, of course, February 23. And we quote, the Liberal Party reiterates that it condemns the political persecution of brave administration critic Senator Leila de Lima. We repeat, the statement goes on, the Sandigan Bayan, not Regional Trial Court, has jurisdiction over the case as the alleged wrongdoings were supposedly committed when she was Justice Secretary. Ang balita namin, the statement goes on, kararating lang ng Macau nitong judge. Ang alam namin, makapal ang motion to quash na final sa kanyang korte. Basahin naman niya ang motion. The haste is deplorable. And further, the statement says, we fear for Senator Leila's life and security given what happened to Albuera Mayor Espinosa. They are referring to Rolando Espinosa of Albuera Leyte, who was killed inside his jail cell. And Korean businessman Ji Ik Ju were both killed, like we said, inside police-controlled facilities. This arrest, the statement goes on, is purely political vendetta and has no place in the justice system that upholds the rule of law. The last paragraph reads, we maintain that if this warrant of arrest is served, it would be a clear violation of legal proceedings and is therefore a violation of her constitutional right to due process. Just a while ago, I was speaking to Dean Leila de Lima, explaining that this is a matter of course. An arrest warrant will be issued, and so far he says nothing irregular in what the court, what Branch 204 had done. Now, while the Liberal Party says de Lima's cases should be under the jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre defends his decision to file the cases against de Lima and 7 others before a regional trial court. Here's Anjo Alimario.
Ang pag-alam ko po, this kind of offenses are not bailable because the penalty, if you are found guilty, is reclusion perpetua.
De Lima is facing 3 cases for violating the Dangerous Drugs Act in connection with her alleged involvement in the drug trade at the New Bilibid prison. Aguirre defends the filing of the cases with the lower court and not with the Sandigan Bayan.
These offenses belong to the exclusive original jurisdiction of the regional trial court. Wala pong jurisdiction dito ang Sandigan Bayan.
Aguirre also says the complaint filed by the NBI against Kerwin Espinosa and de Lima was dismissed. This is in connection with Espinosa's allegation de Lima received money from him to fund her senatorial campaign. The DOJ panel instead directs the NBI to further investigate Kerwin's claim. The DOJ panel also dismissed the complaint against former Undersecretary Francisco Baraan due to insufficiency of evidence. Also, the charges against inmates Peter Co, Herbert Colango, and Gilberto Odorano, Jojo Baligat, and Vicente C. are dropped. They will serve as the prosecution's witnesses. Aguirre makes it clear there's nothing political in the filing of cases against de Lima.
Ito po ay hindi politika. Hindi po ito produkto ng politika. Ito po ay produkto ng trading sa droga.
Asked if he's confident de Lima will be convicted.
Hindi po naman to file ng National Prosecution Service kung hindi merong probability na ito'y na siya ay mahatulan.
De Lima, for her part, is expected to put up a legal battle to block her arrest. Anjali Mario, CNN Philippines.
CNN Philippines breaking news continues. The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court had ordered Branch 204. Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero had ordered the arrest of Senator Leila de Lima for criminal case 17-165. That warrant for her arrest was signed at 5 o'clock this afternoon, today, Thursday, February 23rd. Right now, as our reporters in the Senate, Cecily Lardizabal and George Quiles reporting, no sighting yet of any law enforcement officer who's bringing that warrant for her arrest. Several senators, several of her colleagues had been inside with her in her office, speaking to her together with her staff and lawyers. We're also told by our Cecily Lardizabal that Senator de Lima is about to hold a press conference in one of the rooms of the Senate building right now, and we're told that that's going to be happening in a few moments. This about 2 hours after that warrant for her arrest was issued. We're waiting for that. Also, we're told that President Rodrigo Duterte is at an event in SMX in Davao City. He is, well, as he usually does, he is expected perhaps to say a few words. We're not sure if he will speak about this arrest order that Senator de Lima, that had been issued for Senator de Lima. These are live pictures courtesy of RTVM from Davao in SMX Davao. That's where President Duterte is. We're going to be seeing him in a little bit. We're also waiting for that press conference of Senator Leila de Lima. Just to recap just a little bit, Branch 204, one of 3 branches before which cases, drug cases, were filed against Senator Leila de Lima. The judge, Juanita Tomas Guerrero, had issued an order finding probable cause and then issued at 5 o'clock this afternoon a warrant for the arrest of Senator de Lima. That warrant for arrest said no bail. Earlier, we were speaking to Senator Coco Pimentel, Senate President, and all he said was what was important was that there was coordination, or that there is going to be coordination and respect from law enforcement officers. He doesn't want any scene to happen at the Senate. At the same time, he said, as far as he knows, Senator Leila de Lima had said many times over that she would be cooperating with authorities. We also spoke with Senator Franklin Drilon, one of the Liberal Party senators and an ally of Senator de Lima, and he said, although he was saddened by this development, that he, as a lawyer and as an officer of the court, that Senator de Lima should, and he expected her, as she said she would, to respect the order of the court. But he also said that she can bring, one of the legal remedies would be for her to bring this before the Court of Appeals and perhaps seek a restraining order. This is the same thing that University of Santo Tomas Law Dean Leila de Lima told us just 5 minutes ago, that this is one of the legal remedies that Senator de Lima can take to go to the Court of Appeals, the appellate court, and to try and get a restraining order. But Leila de Lima explaining there that even if that is brought to the Court of Appeals, that does not mean that the warrant for Senator de Lima's arrest cannot be served on her. We're going to take a very short break. CNN Philippines Breaking News will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back, CNN Philippines Breaking News. Live pictures from inside the Senate. This is just right outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. Media people there waiting for her to come out. She said she sent out word that she is going to be holding a press conference anytime. In the meantime, while we wait for that press conference to happen, just 2 hours after the Regional Trial Court of Muntinlupa, Branch 204, had issued a warrant for her arrest, we're going to be speaking to Senator Antonio Trillanes, who is not at the Senate right now, but he told us just a while ago that he did speak to Senator Leila de Lima by phone. Senator Trillanes, can you tell us what is it that Senator de Lima and you spoke about?
Well, I talked to her a few hours ago, and she told me that if I could help in coordinating with the Philippine National Police so that her safety and security would be guaranteed. And that's why after that I called General Ubusan, and he gave me his word that he would guarantee the safety and security of Senator de Lima. So I told Senator de Lima about our conversation, and I trust General Ubusan because I also coordinated with him when we turned over Edgar Matubato last year. So I trust General Ubusan's word.
You're referring to General Ubusan of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, CIDG?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you are you telling us that it is the CIDG that will be bringing that warrant of arrest, that will be serving that warrant of arrest?
Well, that time, General Ubusan has yet to receive the warrant officially. So he said other law enforcement agencies theoretically could serve that warrant. Mm-hmm. But should he be the one to designated to arrest Senator de Lima, she guarantees not only her safety and security, but also that she would be treated well.
Okay.
And yes.
Well, Senator, since the court had issued that order finding probable cause, and then at 5 o'clock this afternoon issuing that warrant for Senator de Lima's arrest, have you been able to speak to General Ubusan?
I believe we talked past 5 already, but essentially that's the picture. And he said for as long as he has yet to serve the warrant officially, the senator can go home and make the necessary farewells to her family and prepare her things. So there's no rush to effect the arrest this evening, because ordinarily for those being served warrants, normally they do it during office hours.
All right. So you're saying that Director Roel Ubusan of the CIDG was saying that if it were he or his men who would serve that warrant for the Senator de Lima's arrest, that he would allow her to go home, meaning spend the night at home first and say proper goodbyes, pack her things, etc., and be presented to the Muntinlupa RTC tomorrow.
Yes, because that's the normal procedure. They do it during office hours. Mm-hmm. And since Senator de Lima publicly said that she will face this thing head on, then and there's also no flight risk. So I believe it's a judgment call of General Obusan.
All right. Is there anything else you can share with us, Senator Trillanes?
Well, first of all, I would like to denounce this acts of persecution by the Duterte administration that is primarily targeting the dissenting voices against his administration. But we will not be cowed. We will continue to be voices of what is right and what is just. So in the proper time, we will make the necessary response.
Senator Antonio Trillanes, thank you very much, sir, for joining us by telephone.
Salamat, ma'am.
Senator Trillanes, they're saying that he spoke earlier to CIDG Chief Director Roel Obusan, who said, and we quote, according to Senator Trillanes, that if it were he or the CIDG personnel who would be serving that warrant for the arrest of Senator de Lima, that he would allow her to go home tonight, prepare her things, and say the proper goodbyes before she is presented to the Muntinlupa RTC tomorrow. Meantime, our George Cahiles joins us now from the Senate grounds. George, what do you have for us right now?
Well, Pia, we spoke with Senate Sergeant at Arms Jose Balahadia earlier, and he told us that arresting units have yet to coordinate with them in relation to the possible arrest of Senator Leila de Lima. In fact, he said that they aren't really sure if there's already a warrant of arrest because they have yet to receive a copy of this arrest warrant as of the moment. Balahadia says he is giving a briefing to Senate security as of the moment, telling them what to do in any scenario that may happen in case that some arresting units will arrive here at the Senate grounds and try to arrest Senator Leila de Lima. And he says the office of Senator Leila de Lima has yet to ask for security arrangements as of yet. But what we know so far is that the senator is still at the Senate building in her office. And in a little while, she will give a press briefing. But the Senate President told Balahadia that to ensure that those arresting units will somehow coordinate with them properly as a co-equal branch of the government as a form of respect. Pia.
All right, George Cahiles, they're reporting from the Senate. This is going to be interesting because like George was saying and Cecil was saying, that Senator de Lima is scheduled to give a press briefing anytime now. But at the same time in Davao City, like we were saying, President Duterte addressing an international conference of the Knights of Rizal. Let's listen in first.
I did not know then how deeply ingrained and enormous those problems were. Nonetheless, and early on, I felt that there must be a meaningful change or reform. With those occupying the highest positions in government. We know what we need or ought to do, but we do not do them because our concept of government is parochial and we cannot rise above our family, ethnic, and clan loyalties. As we push through ourselves to a better Philippines, I recall Dr. Rizal's writing. Thus, I have also written that change or reforms, if they are to bear fruit, must come from the above. For change or reforms that come below are upheavals, both violent and transitory. Perhaps it would be good for us to revisit the wisdom contained in the words of Dr. Jose Rizal, which reverberate from centuries past. To start with, after Rizal published the Nolime Tangere, he created a lot of enemies. And Father Sanchez of the Society of Jesus, who feared for his life and safety and security, warned him of terrible consequences. He asked Dr. Jose Rizal, "You do not fear the consequences of your boldness?" Rizal answered, "Father, you are a missionary. When you are on a mission, do your duty without fear of consequences. Are you not afraid to?" Father Sanchez retorted, "That is completely a different thing." Rizal said, Not at all, Father. Your mission is to baptize pagans. Mine is to dignify men. In his letter to Resurrection Hidalgo, he said, I have laughed at my misfortunes because nobody wanted to weep with me. These are but two of the countless messages of the wisdom that Dr. Rosa Rizal either said or wrote. But these two meaningful outstand because of their simplicity and riches in the meaning and implication. To say that Dr. Rosa Rizal was ahead of his time is no empty statement. For instance, my administration has proposed to shift from our governmental structure to a federal system. But it is really nothing new, for in this, the Filipinas dentro de 100 años, the Philippine Century Sense published at La Solidaridad circa 1989 and 1890. Dr. Jose Rizal saw the merits and the advantages of a federal system of government. No wonder he predicted that the Philippines would probably adopt a federal republic once liberated. For now, we do not need to discuss what these advantages are. That will follow later. Frankly, I hope to see the Knights of Rizal in the forefront of the campaign to shift to the federal type of government. All of us know how Dr. Jose Rizal died, but we do not know how he lived. Men become heroes not so much because they have died, but more so of how they lived. Indeed, Dr. Jose Rizal's life was a heroic struggle to dignify the Filipino. As aptly said by Leon Maria Guerrero, it was when he was commissioned to write a brief of Dr. Jose Rizal's life that he discovered that the way Dr. Jose Rizal died was not so important as the way he lived. And since his life was essentially apostleship, the way he lived was not so much important as what he thought and wrote. One's thoughts revealed in the words, government to one's life. That is how things are. Dr. Jose Rizal is as relevant to us now as he was in this nation during his lifetime. His words echo and re-echo through the years, but sad to say, it seems that we have not profited enough from their wisdom. We need to re-examine our conscience along the lines of Dr. Jose Rizal. Rizal's thoughts, aspirations, and vision, and then decide whether we strengthen the bond that unites us as a people and nation or tear this country apart. Finally, let us not delude ourselves into believing that Dr. Jose Rizal was a faultless being, because he was not. He was mortal like us. Summing up the person that Dr. Jose Rizal was, Leon Maria Guerrero in 1961 award-winning biography of Dr. Jose Rizal entitled The First Filipino. Rizal was not perfect, and he was not always right. But I trust that those who read the story of his life will perceive that his humanity is precisely the secret of his greatness. You can be a Rizal, I can be a Rizal, in our own modest ways and within the limits of our competence and capacities. We can all be Rizals. Thank you, and good evening to all.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we request the President for a photo opportunity with Sir Renato Espuno Sr. and Sir Lamberto Nangquil in 12 batches. May I call on batch 1, members.
A brief speech by President Duterte on the Knights of Rizal, that event he's attending at the SMX Davao. Near the upper left hand of your screens, you can see just outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. By the way, President Duterte made no mention of her today. Upper left hand of your screens, you can see a little bit of a commotion just outside her office. Senator Leila de Lima there, exiting her office, proceeding to the Sumulong room where she's going to be holding a press conference. A little bit of a physical event going on there as Senate security escorting Senator de Lima presumably to her press conference where she's going to be holding a press conference. Just at 5 o'clock this afternoon, the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204 had issued a warrant for her arrest for criminal case 17-165. These are drug charges that were filed against her by the Department of Justice. Well, right now what you're seeing, live pictures still, Senator de Lima emerging from her office, but going down the stairwell. We were told earlier that she was supposed to have a press conference we're showing you Sumulong room where the press conference is supposed to be held, and that is where we're expecting that she will be entering anytime soon. Of course, as we know, like I said, like we were saying earlier, Branch 204 had issued a warrant for her arrest, no bail, according to the order that Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero had signed. That order was signed at 5 o'clock this afternoon, February 23rd, Thursday, February 23rd, 2017. We're expecting Senator de Lima any moment now to enter this room for that press conference where she said she's going to be giving anytime soon, and that is her entering the press conference room in the Senate. Well, while we're waiting for her to begin that press conference, like we said, a warrant for her arrest had been issued just a while ago. We spoke to Senator Antonio Trillanes, and he was saying that at around 5 o'clock this afternoon, Senator Trillanes had spoken to Director Roel Obusan, who heads the PNP CIDG, or the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, and that Director Obusan had assured Senator Trillanes that if it were the CIDG that would serve that warrant for Senator de Lima's arrest, that they would allow her to go home first tonight to prepare her things and to say proper goodbyes, and that they could always present her to the court tomorrow. It's quite a number of Senate security. I'm presuming that that is what they are, if I'm seeing them correctly. These are the men in black jackets, or about 5, 6, or 7 of them surrounding Senator de Lima. The senator herself is seated right behind that podium that you can see on the stage. To Senator de Lima's right and to our left, the left of the podium, as we can see it, is Senator Bam Aquino, who was with her earlier in her office. Still a little bit of commotion, quite a bit of noise there as the media waits for that press conference to begin. It is not yet clear what exactly Senator de Lima is going to be saying, and what exactly she's going to announce as to when she will be presenting herself before the Muntinlupa RTC. You can see Senator Kiko Pangilinan and Frank Drilon, her fellow Liberal Party senators, joining her for that press conference.
Tahimik muna po tayo. Magsasalita lang po ako pag tahimik na lahat. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Katulad po ng napabalita, may linabas na daw po, o may linabas na order of arrest and corresponding warrant of arrest ang RTC Muntinlupa. Pero sa ngayon po, wala pa ho sa akin siniserve. Bagamat questionable yung pagkaka-issue ng warrant of arrest or ng order of arrest, questionable ho dahil dapat po bukas ay didinggin muna yung inihain ng aming mga abogado na motions to quash doon sa 3 kaso. Sa katunayan, yung prosecution nga po, specifically DOJ, ay nagpa-postpone pa nga, nagpa-reset po nung hearing bukas for March 3. Kaya po, nagulat po kami lahat na biglang in-issue yung order of arrest and warrant of arrest. Katulad po ng nasabi ko na dati, wala po akong balak takasan yung mga kaso ko. Wala po akong balak magtago dahil haharapin ko po ang mga kaso na yan. Since sa ngayon po, at this very moment, 7:20, wala pa naman po nagsuserve ng warrant of arrest sa akin, ninanais ko muna po na umuwi muna para makapiling ko na muna po ang aking pamilya. At para kunin ko na po yung mga dadalhin kong gamit sa kulungan. So uuwi po ako ngayong gabi at babalik po ako dito bukas na umaga. At dito ko po sa Senado hihintayin ang arresting team. Hihintayin ko po sila. Kusa po ako na susuko sa kanila. Pero sa ngayon po, gusto ko na muna po makapiling ang aking pamilya sa bahay. Babalik po ako bukas na umaga. Ipapasalamat po ako sa mga kasamahan ko sa Liberal Party. Senator Frank Drilon, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Bam Aquino, at Senator Risa Ontiveros, nandito po siya kanina, sa kanilang suporta. Sa inyo pong lahat, humihingi lang po ako ng inyong dasal na sana maging safe and secure po ako saan man nila ako dadalhin, saan man nila ako ikukulong. Alam nyo naman po na yung mga so-called charges na final sa akin ay non-bailable. Bahala na po ang aking mga abogado kung ano po ang legal remedy na gagawin nila dyan sa questionable nga pong pagkaka-issue ng order of arrest and warrant of arrest ngayon. Tuloy po ang laban ni Leila de Lima. Maraming salamat po.
Senator Leila de Lima there saying that she acknowledges that there is that order of arrest that the Regional Trial Court Branch 204, the Muntinlupa RTC had issued, and it issued an order of arrest and a corresponding order of arrest. She said that as of now, nothing had yet been served to or on her. And she said that even if it was questionable, she said that she has been questioning this for the longest time, that she had no plans, has no plans to evade the serving of the warrant of arrest and no plans to go into hiding. And she said that since no one has come here, has gone to the Senate to serve that warrant for her arrest on her, that she said that she wants to go home first so that she can be with her family, to pack her things, which she will be bringing to her place of detention. And she said that she wants to return to the Senate tomorrow morning, where she will wait for the arresting team. And she also said that, and she also asked for prayers for her safety and security. After that very brief, the very brief statement from her, she left the Sumulong room right away and is expected to be leaving the Senate premises in a few moments or in a few minutes. Our correspondents are standing by, George Cahiles and Cecil Lardizabal there at the Senate. AC Nichols is at the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. We have several other correspondents all over the place waiting for any developments on this issuance of an arrest warrant for Senator Leila de Lima. Just a while ago, Senator Trillanes was explaining that at 5 o'clock this afternoon, he had spoken to Director Ruel Obusan of the PNP-CIDG, who said that it was possible for Senator de Lima to go home first tonight and to prepare her things exactly as Senator de Lima mentioned during her press conference. Now let's speak first to Cecil Lardizabal, who was at that press conference, very brief press conference of Senator Leila de Lima. Cecil, what else can you tell us?
Hi, Pia. We've seen the press conference of Senator Leila de Lima. She appeared very emotional. And then she was saying that an arrest warrant has yet to be served to her. She's clearing that, although we know that it has been already issued by the RTC Muntinlupa. What she's appealing is for her security, for the authorities, and that she wants to go home first, and that she will be back here at the Senate tomorrow and will wait for the arrest warrant. During her press conference, she was accompanied by LP member senators, Senator Frank Relon, Bamakino, and Kiko Pangilinan. All of her staff was also with her during her press conference. It was very short, and she made her message clear that she's not going to resist arrest, but that she just wants to go home to see her family first, and then to talk to them for the last time before she voluntarily, surrenders herself to the authorities when an arrest warrant is served tomorrow, if and when that happens, Pia.
Well, Cecil, we're seeing live pictures from just outside the Senate, 3-4 vehicles leaving the Senate premises. Sorry, 5. We're presuming that that is Senator Leila de Lima. She said she wanted to go home first to be with her family and pack her things. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Well, yeah, I'm here at the second floor. I haven't seen that convoy yet, Pia, but, that was the wish of the senator, that she wants to go home first and see her family and, talk to her children and her grandchildren. Those are the things she said that she is going to miss, the people that she loves, her home, if and when an arrest warrant is served. And so she made it clear, her message, that she will get back here at the Senate tomorrow and wait for the warrant of arrest to be served to her. Pia.
All right, Cecil Lardizabal there at the second floor, like she said, of the Senate, having just covered the very brief press conference of Senator Leila de Lima. Also, just a few seconds ago, we were showing you a live shot of that convoy. We are presuming that that is Senator Leila de Lima on her way home. Like she said, she wanted to go home first to speak to her children. She has 2 children and her grandchildren, and she wanted to pack her things for detention. And she said that she would be back at the Senate tomorrow morning, where she would wait for the arresting officers who would be bringing that arrest warrant for her. That arrest warrant that was issued just at 5 o'clock this afternoon, that's about 2.5 hours ago, by the Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. On the left-hand side of your screens, you can still see a live shot of the convoy. Like I said, we presume that that is the convoy of Senator Leila de Lima. Like she said, she wanted to go home first tonight, but that she will not evade arrest and she will not go into hiding. This is something that she's been saying for the last few weeks, that she is willing to face this. All right, live pictures, like we said, on the left-hand side, live pictures, that convoy on its way home, or on its way to the home of Senator Leila de Lima. We're going to speak to George Cahilas, who is with that convoy. George?
Yes, Pia, we're currently tailing the convoy of Senator Leila de Lima. We're here in the area of Macapagal. Oh, well, this is already Buendia, in front of World Trade Center. But, you know, as mentioned by the senator, she's going home tonight to be with her family. And tomorrow she'll be back at the Senate to wait for the arresting officers to serve the warrant of arrest against her. So currently several vehicles are a part of this convoy. And, of course, media men, including us, are now tailing the convoy going to her house in Parañaque. So in a little while, Pia, we will give you further updates. And this is a very secured convoy. We've seen several security personnel manning the various vehicles that are part of the convoy. And we will give you in a bit more updates on our whereabouts and until we reach the house of Senator Leila de Lima in Parañaque. Yeah.
And George, no sightings whatsoever of any elements of the Philippine National Police or of this PNP CIDG in the Senate premises?
Oh, well, so far, Pia, there's no sighting of CIDG members here. And as far as our sources in Kamkrame told us that they're still there in the area and on standby, but there's no apparent order from the CID chief if they will be having an activity tonight. So so far, Pia, the police officers that we've seen are those manning the Senate grounds. Those are just the policemen that we've seen so far. But so as of now, we haven't seen any CIDG officers in the area, Pia.
So your sources in Krame saying no movement from there, no teams are going out of Krame to serve that warrant of arrest so far for tonight?
Yes, Pia, that's correct. As of now, there is no order to have their activity or movement tonight, particularly on arresting the senator. And they're still there in Kamkrame. The CIDG NCR officials are still there in Kamkrame. Yeah.
George, personnel securing Senator Leila de Lima, these are, we presume, Senate security, correct?
Yes, Pia. We are assuming that they are Senate security. They're wearing this gray top, polo barong, jacket that is normally the uniform of Senate security personnel. So they are aboard several vehicles, and they're still also tailing the convoy of Senator Leila de Lima, Pia.
Were you able to see, watch as Senator de Lima boarded her vehicle, or you were medyo malayo yung kinalalagyan nyo kanina, George?
Well, actually, the vehicles came from the parking space, which is at the basement of the Senate building. So we weren't able to see if the senator was which vehicle the senator boarded. But what we know is that this is the convoy of the senator, but we did not have the chance to see her aboard the vehicle. Yeah.
All right. Well, George Cahilas, we're going to be checking in with you in just a bit. I suppose by the time you get to the residence of Senator Leila de Lima. For those of you just joining us now, Senator Leila de Lima, having just left the Senate after a very brief press conference. During that press conference, she was saying that she wanted to go home first tonight, and that since no law enforcement official had served that warrant for her arrest on her, that she would return home first to be able to pack her things for detention and to speak first and spend time with her 2 children and her grandchildren. And she said that by tomorrow morning she would be back at the Senate, where she would wait for any arresting officer who would bring that warrant for her arrest. She also said during that press conference that she did not or does not have a copy of that warrant for her arrest. We're going to show you again that speech, a very brief statement made by Senator Leila de Lima during that press conference moments ago, just before she left the Senate.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Katulad po ng napabalita, may linabas na daw po, o may linabas na order of arrest and corresponding warrant of arrest ang RTC Muntinlupa. Pero sa ngayon po, wala pa ho sa akin siniserve. Bagamat questionable yung pagkaka-issue ng warrant of arrest or ng order of arrest, questionable ho dahil dapat po bukas ay didinggin muna yung inihain ng aming mga abogado na motions to quash doon sa 3 kaso. Sa katunayan, yung prosecution nga po, specifically DOJ, ay nagpa-postpone pa nga, nagpa-reset po nung hearing bukas for March 3. Kaya po, nagulat po kami lahat na biglang in-issue yung order of arrest and warrant of arrest. Katulad po ng nasabi ko na dati, wala po akong balak takasan yung mga kaso ko. Wala po akong balak magtago dahil haharapin ko po ang mga kaso na yan. Since sa ngayon po, at this very moment, 7:20, wala pa naman po nagsuserve ng warrant of arrest sa akin, ninanais ko muna po na umuwi muna para makapiling ko na muna po ang aking pamilya. At para kunin ko na po yung mga dadalhin kong gamit sa kulungan. So uuwi po ako ngayong gabi at babalik po ako dito bukas na umaga. At dito ko po sa Senado hihintayin ang arresting team. Hihintayin ko po sila. Kusa po ako na susuko sa kanila. Pero sa ngayon po, gusto ko na muna po makapiling ang aking pamilya sa bahay. Babalik po ako bukas na umaga. Papasalamat po ako sa mga kasamahan ko sa Liberal Party. Senator Frank Drilon, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Bam Aquino, at Senator Risa Hontiveros, nandito po siya kanina, sa kanilang suporta. Sa inyo pong lahat, tumihingi lang po ako ng inyong dasal na sana maging safe and secure po ako saan man nila ako dadalhin, saan man nila ako ikukulong. Alam nyo naman po na yung mga so-called charges na final sa akin ay non-bailable. Bahala na po ang aking mga abogado kung ano po ang legal remedy na gagawin nila dyan sa questionable nga pong pagkaka-issue ng order of arrest and warrant of arrest. Ngayon, tuloy po ang laban ni Leila de Lima. Maraming salamat po.
Senator Leila de Lima giving that very brief statement just moments ago before she left the building. George Quiles is tailing her convoy. It is on its way to her home in the southern part of Metro Manila. George Quiles there telling us a bit earlier that Senate security are escorting Senator Leila de Lima, who said, just as you heard a while ago, that she wanted to go home first and be with her children and grandchildren and to prepare her things for detention. She also said that she wanted to return to the Senate tomorrow morning, where she would be waiting for the arresting officers. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 204, through Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero, issuing that warrant of arrest that you can see it right now on your screens. That was issued at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The first line, very clearly, you can see that you're hereby commanded to arrest Leila M. de Lima. The second paragraph, first line of the second paragraph says the bail for this person. I'm sorry, I can't see the exact words. No bail, and that is in bold letters. That warrant of arrest issued for Senator Leila de Lima at 5 o'clock this afternoon by Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero. By of the Branch 204 Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court.
Doon sa tatlong kaso. Sa katunayan,
now, one of Senator de Lima's supporters and former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman comments on the order to have de Lima arrested. Soliman describes it as a travesty of justice.
I think this is a travesty of justice. And secondly, I think this is to make people forget that there is even a more explosive news that we should be paying attention to. That there is this man who has said, Las Cañas, that the president had actually asked him to kill people. We should not forget that. At the same time, I say, Senator Leila de Lima is not guilty. The evidence they have on her is given by people who were the ones perpetuating the drug trade when they were outside of jail and when they were inside of jail. And it was Senator de Lima who brought that all out into public.
Meanwhile, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre saying it is all up to the Regional Trial Court to decide the place of arrest and where de Lima should be detained. De Lima had said before that she does not want to be detained at the PNP Custodial Center.
He does not want to be detained in the PNP Custodial Center. If he said that he does not want to be detained in the AFP Custodial Center. And if that would be the case, then it would be the Muntinlupa RTC who will determine the place. Actually, it should be the court who should determine the place of arrest. But in other cases, in all other cases, less this special privileges of some individuals, it is the RTC who determines the place of arrest. And usually, in fact, almost 99% plus time, they are being ordered detained at the Muntinlupa City Jail.
Meantime, an official statement of the national president of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, IBP, regarding Senator de Lima's call, urging the IBP to stand up as defenders of truth and justice. That statement entitled, "We Stand for the Rule of Law." Please be patient. I'm just going to read a few lines from it. We quote, "The IBP will always faithfully and vigilantly stand for the rule of law, respect for human rights, and upholding the Constitution of the Philippines. Our resolve in this matter has never slackened, and in pursuit thereof, the IBP has relentlessly pursued the interests of the downtrodden, from our Lumad brothers and sisters to the oppressed farmers of Mindanao, as well as other victims of human rights abuses, and the IBP has consistently spoken against extrajudicial killings. Being an inherently apolitical organization, the statement goes on, the IBP is also duty-bound to desist from participating in any partisan politics and, like Caesar's wife, to avoid even the perception of being tainted with any political color. To be clear, the IBP shall stand ready, willing, and able to assist and defend anyone who is oppressed, abused, or any other victim of injustice, but the national leadership of the IBP shall not allow the institution's name to be sullied by allowing itself to be dragged into the murky world of political mudslinging. That statement dated today, 23 February 2017, and signed by Attorney Rosario Setias Reyes, National President of the IBP. Meantime, George Kahila is still part of that convoy. Senator Leila de Lima, on her way home, like she said, she wanted to spend her last night of freedom at home with her children and preparing her things for her detention. She said she would be returning to the Senate tomorrow morning, where she would wait for arresting officers who would bring that warrant for her arrest, issued at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Thursday, February 23rd, by Branch 204 of the Regional Trial Court of Muntinlupa. Now, meantime, Senator Franklin Drilon says he is saddened by the new developments on De Lima's case, but that he respects the rule of the court, or the rule of law. He hopes, however, that the court may allow De Lima to be put on house arrest instead.
I hope that the court can consider allowing her a house arrest. She is not a flight risk. The important thing is that she is under the custody of the court. Wherever the court would want to detain her is a matter for the court to decide.
5 months ago, the House of Representatives investigated the drug trade inside the New Bilibid prison. Witnesses claim Senator De Lima received drug money and used it to fund her 2016 senatorial campaign. Joyce Ilas takes a look back.
Several Bilibid inmates faced the House Committee on Justice investigating the proliferation of drug syndicates at the New Bilibid prison during the term of former Justice Secretary Leila de Lima. During the probe, alleged Bilibid drug lord J.B. Sebastian admitted that he gave De Lima, whom he called a protector, a total of 10 million peso worth of drug money from 2014 to 2015. Sebastian said the money was to be used for De Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Sinabi ko kay Secretary De Lima, ma'am, may bigay ako sa iyong pera, paano to? Kay Junel ko ba iabot? Sumagot naman si Secretary De Lima na hindi ko kasama si Junel ngayon, iwan mo na lang dyan.
Another witness, convicted drug lord Herbert Colango, claimed he gave De Lima 3 million pesos monthly to allow the entry of contraband inside the Bilibid. He said he also gave her 1 million pesos every time he held a concert inside the Bilibid.
Ang tatawag sa amin yan ay PR Payula po. Para lahat ng gusto namin mga kontrabando ipapasok. Golf cart, motor de corriente.
Other inmates also claimed personally giving De Lima millions worth of drug money.
Inabot ko na kay Secretary De Lima ang kahon na may lamang 1.5 million. At sinabi ko, ma'am, ito na po. Kinuha ito ni Secretary at inabot sa lalaking sumalubong sa akin.
I said, good morning, ma'am. She said, hi, Rafi. As long as we entered, then Ronnie handed the black bag. And she accepted it.
Other convicts meanwhile claimed that Sebastian and Colango ordered them to sell drugs inside and outside the Bilibid to fund De Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Alam ko na direktang para kay Secretary Leila de Lima mismo ang 1,500,000 piso at ito'y taasang inamin ni Herbert Colango sa akin.
De Lima's former driver turned lover Ronnie Dayan said he received money from alleged drug lord Kerwin Espinosa for De Lima. Dayan, however, said he did not know that Espinosa was a drug lord or how much money Espinosa was giving De Lima.
Inaabot ko ang mga ito kay ma'am pagdating sa bahay. Sa mismong kwarto, automatic na po yan.
In the end, some congressmen seemed to be convinced that De Lima may have been involved in the illegal drug trade.
Here is a woman pretending to be clean, pretending to be a crime buster, a graft buster, a self-proclaimed righteous individual, kailangan nating ipakita sa taong bayan kung anong klaseng tao ito.
But others question the motives and the inconsistencies in the statements of convicts turned witnesses.
Para sa akin kasi gusto mo lang sabihin yung pwede mong sabihin, pero yung pwede mong itago, itatago mo.
For De Lima, the statements of convicts were nothing but lies meant to destroy her.
My reputation has been untarnished until now, when it's being unfairly and unjustly besmirched by all of these fabricated lies against about my alleged involvement in the drug trade.
In October, the House Committee on Justice ruled in its report that all of the evidence point to De Lima's involvement and possible accountability in the illegal drug activities. Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
Well, at the moment, Senator De Lima on her way home in a convoy accompanied by Senate security. But before that, she held a very brief news conference where she made a statement. Let's listen in.
And corresponding warrant of arrest, ang RTC Muntinlupa. Pero sa ngayon po, wala pa ho sa akin siniserve. Bagamat questionable yung pagkaka-issue ng warrant of arrest or ng order of arrest, questionable ho dahil dapat po bukas ay didinggin muna yung inihain ng aming mga abogado na motions to quash doon sa 3 kaso. Sa katunayan, yung prosecution nga po, specifically DOJ, ay nagpa-postpone pa nga, nagpa-reset po nung hearing bukas for March 3. Kaya po, nagulat po kami lahat na biglang in-issue yung order of arrest and warrant of arrest. Katulad po ng nasabi ko na dati, wala po akong balak takasan yung mga kaso ko. Wala po akong balak magtago dahil haharapin ko po ang mga kaso na yan. Since sa ngayon po, at this very moment, 7:20, wala pa naman po nagsaserve ng warrant of arrest sa akin. Ninanais ko muna po na umuwi muna para makapiling ko na muna po ang aking pamilya. At para kunin ko na po yung mga dadalhin kong gamit sa kulungan. So uuwi po ako ngayong gabi at babalik po ako dito bukas na umaga.
Portion of that brief statement given by Senator Leila de Lima shortly before she left. At the moment, we understand that her convoy is in the Sucat Skyway area, South Luzon Expressway. She's on her way home. She said she wanted to spend her last night of freedom with her family and to prepare her things, pack her things for detention. She also said that she would be returning to the Senate tomorrow morning so that she could wait there for the arresting officers who would bring that warrant of arrest that was issued at 5 o'clock this afternoon by the Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero of Branch 204 of the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. The case, criminal case 17-165, drug charges filed by the Department of Justice against Senator Leila de Lima. This has been CNN Philippines Breaking News. I'm Pia Ontiveros.
That would be a disrespect to the Senate. Kaya hintayin lang po nila ako dyan sa labas.
Para ma'am, hindi nyo gagamitin ng Senate. Hindi nyo po gagamitin ng Senate as sanctuary para hindi kayo arrestuin habang wala pa yung tugon sa mga legal remedies.
Hindi po siguro. Hindi po siguro.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yung mga anak nyo, paparito na lang, ma'am.
All right, you just heard Senator Leila de Lima there speaking at the Senate, where she says that she does not feel safe if the arrest is done tonight. She says that she was surprised that the arrest was in fact going to be done tonight when it was promised to her that it would happen tomorrow morning. She says that it was unusual and unjust to force arrest this evening. She explains she does not plan to escape or evade arrest. In fact, she plans to face them in the morning. Senator Leila de Lima says she plans to stay at the Senate until tomorrow morning and wait for the arresting team at her office. When asked if she plans to seek solace or to hide at the Senate, she says she has nothing to hide. And again, I repeat, she plans to face the arresting team tomorrow. In her words, she says, "I feel less safe if ngayon gabi gagawin." And when asked if she spoke directly to PNP Chief De La Rosa, she says that she will not speak to him herself. This is in relation, of course, to the senator being an arrest ordered on her this morning on drug-related charges filed against her by the Department of Justice. Senator Leila de Lima there earlier talking about who is at the Senate, who has been confirmed at the Senate tonight, saying that she will wait for the arresting team at the Senate. Earlier, the CIDG team was on the way to her home to serve the warrant of arrest. We now have our Camille Abadisha on the line for an update. Hi, Camille. What's the latest from your end?
Mitzi, we were able to for warrant of arrest. Right now, we know that we have learned that they are inside the building, and anytime now they could possibly go here in front of Senator Leila de Lima's office to serve her warrant of arrest. We're all standing by outside her office. We know that she is with her legal counsel right now inside her office, and one of her sons actually made it here. Her eldest son, Israel, is inside her office with Senator De Lima, and Leah Navarro of the Black and White Movement also arrived just a few minutes earlier, and we're actually just waiting for the PNP CIDG team to go upstairs. They're already here inside the building again. Just a few minutes after we have talked to Senator Leila de Lima. We're going to give you more updates on this, Mitzi, as soon as the team goes up here to Senator Leila de Lima's office. Mitzi.
Live pictures, and we did just see former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman there going to the senator's office. So some of her supporters appear to be showing up. Of course, the CIDG is there. Did you see any? You mentioned Leah Navarro and her son Israel there. Did you see any more, perhaps senators or any other people coming up, entering the Senate to go with Senator Leila de Lima?
No other senators from the Liberal Party right now, Mitzi, but of course we expect more of her supporters to come here. This is actually not really her team actually didn't expect this to happen this fast, and she was pretty confident earlier that she will not be arrested inside the Senate, but well, it's happening now. The PNP CIDG is here, and we are awaiting their arrival here right in front of her office. Nancy.
Right. Thank you, Camille. Once again, for those of you just joining us, the CIDG team has arrived at the Senate. This is the arresting team that is ready to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. We now go back to our Ana Estanislao, who is there following the team outside. Ana?
Hi, Mitzi. Yes, we're still outside. The media wasn't let inside the office of OSA or the office of the Sergeant at Arms. The arresting officer, again, I caught his name on his uniform, the arresting police officer with the last name Tamayo. He was carrying a white folder, and most likely that has the arrest warrant inside. Now, we will just have to wait and see. Many members of the media are reporting right now, and cameras are on standby to wait for the arrest warrant to be served to Senator Leila de Lima. Mitzi.
Thank you very much, Ana Stanislao there again, just telling us that the media has not been allowed
to enter the office of the sergeant at arms. She mentioned that a certain Tamayo is possibly carrying the papers to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. So once again, tonight, the CIDG has arrived at the Senate to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. They had gone to her home earlier, but she had left. Senator Leila de Lima just speaking to the media moments ago, saying that she was surprised that the warrant of arrest was being served tonight because it was agreed that this would be done tomorrow. We will play for you the full interview once again. For those of you who did not hear this, let's listen in to Senator Leila de Lima, who spoke earlier to the media.
Napilitan po akong umalis kaagad sa bahay dahil nga po nabalitaan ko na on the way na daw po yung arresting team. Ay labag po ito sa unang naging arrangement na dapat nga po na yung unang arrangement po ay sa bahay muna ako magdamag to be with my family at babalik na lang dapat ako dito bukas na umaga. Yun po ang alam kong naging kasunduan. Tapos bigla daw pong binago, kaya nabalitaan na lang namin na on the way na yung arresting team sa bahay. So madalian naman po ako, mabilisan naman po ako na pumunta dito, bumalik dito, nagbihis kaagad ako at pumunta ako dito dahil ayaw ko po talaga na arestuhin nila ako sa bahay. Dahil nandun po yung family ko, I don't want them to see me being arrested. Kaya dito po ako. So dito po ako maghihintay sa kanila. Pero sana po wag nilang pilitin na arestuhin kaagad ako ngayon pagdating nila dito. Kaya hindi dapat to maghintay lang sila sa labas. Hindi ho nila pwedeng pilitin and then they will serve the warrant on me while I'm here in the office and I'm not yet ready to face them. Kasi ang ano ko naman talaga sana nga bukas na umaga kasi yun naman talaga ang una na pinakiusap namin sa kanila. What is the difference between tonight and tomorrow morning? Masyado naman pong unusual, although hindi naman illegal, masyado naman hong unusual and to me unjust kung pipilitin nila ngayong gabi ang pag-aresto sa akin. Anyway, hindi naman nga ako tatakas. Ready naman akong arestuhin. Pero wag lang sana ngayong gabi. So I'll just stay here sa Senado and wait for the sun to rise bago po ako humarap sa kanila.
Ma'am, anong worry nyo na arestuhin kayo ngayong gabi?
Alam nyo, kasi ang mas delikado ang gabi. Diba? And then konti naman sanang respeto.
Ma'am, ba't ko po kaya minamandali?
Hindi ko po alam.
Ma'am, akala ko may usapan na tomorrow 8 ng umaga.
Yun na nga po. Hindi ko nga po maintindihan yon. May arrangement na ho sa kanila na ganun nga ho. Dahil hindi naman talaga ako aalis, hindi naman ako tatakas, hindi naman ako tatago, hindi naman ako iiwas. Kaya kampante rin nga ako na I'll be staying overnight sa bahay. Bigla hong nagbago. Decision daw ho ata ni General De La Rosa.
Pero
As a matter of fact, hindi na nga po ako naabutan ng mga anak ko. My eldest son who's staying with his father, my special child Israel, 33 years old, was just on his way. Na-traffic kasi sa EDSA. So hindi na niya ako naabutan. My second son took his exams, law school, Alabang. So gabi na natapos yung kanyang klase. Hindi na rin ako naabutan. Kaya hindi ko nakita yung mga anak ko.
Pero hindi naman kayo magtatago dito sa loob ng Senate office kasi bawal mang aresto sa loob ng Senate premises. Hindi ho kayo magtatago sa opisina nyo?
Nandito lang ako, ba't ako magtatago? I mean, hindi ako nagtatago. Pakiusap lang nga sana. Huwag nilang pilitin akong arestuhin ngayong gabi.
Don't you have
I feel less safe if ngayong gabi po nila gagawin yan.
Kung sino yung kausap ninyo, ma'am? Yung kasi naging kampante kayo, sabi nyo nga umuwi kayo, nagbihis na kayo, naging kampante kayo na hindi kayo arestuhin ngayong gabi. Sino yung kausap niyo, ma'am? Pwede naman naman.
Ang alam ko si SP Coco mismo nakiusap sa kanila.
Sino po yung pumayag on their side?
DILG Secretary Sueño.
So, ma'am, dito na...
Pero mukhang naano sila.
Could it be the ordered by the President, ma'am?
The fact na si General De La Rosa mismo ang nagdesisyon. Hindi ba boss niya dapat si Secretary Sueño? O so may nag-overrule na mas mataas. Ganun ang reading ko.
So, ma'am, ngayon, ano yung legal remedy ninyo?
Ginagawa na po ng lawyers. Meron po sila.
Did you try to talk to General De La Rosa for your request na bukas na lang ng umaga?
I will not talk to him myself.
Pero ma'am, may coordination pa rin po ba para huwag kayong arrestuhin ngayong gabi? Either to your friends, to Senate President?
Well, I'm here in the Senate. And kung gagalangin nila ang Senado bilang institusyon, hindi ho dapat nila pilitin na pumasok dito para arestuhin ako. Kasi saan naman ako pupunta? Hindi naman talaga ako tatago, hindi naman ako aalis. So wag ho nilang pilitin yan. That would be a disrespect to the Senate. Kaya hintayin lang po nila ako dyan sa labas.
That was Senator Leila de Lima just speaking earlier to the media as she returned to the Senate from her home, saying that she was surprised that the CIDG, or the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, had gone to her home, was on the way to her home to serve her the warrant of arrest, as it was agreed that this would be done tomorrow morning. The senator there saying that she will spend the evening in the Senate and is ready to face the arresting team tomorrow. This is the CIDG, and they are, in fact, a unit of the PNP, or the Philippine National Police, in charge of serving the arrest warrant of Senator Leila de Lima. Now, the CIDG team was spotted outside by our correspondents, and it appears the media is not allowed to the office of the Sergeant at Arms. We still have to confirm whether the team can, in fact, arrest Senator Leila de Lima at the Senate grounds. Now, we will be showing you the court's arrest warrant against Senator Leila de Lima. You see it on your screen now. It says the senator cannot post bail. De Lima's lawyer, Alex Padilla, is disappointed. He says it's an insult that the court rescheduled the hearing on De Lima's motion to dismiss the case, but ordered her arrest anyway.
If you wanted to issue the warrant, no, you should have done it in the first instance when the charges were filed. No? That means you already saw the evidence and you already determined probable cause and all that. Pero ito ang ginawa niya, nakaka-insulto. Dahil she scheduled it for hearing and then issues the warrant nonetheless.
Meanwhile, police confirm Senator Leila de Lima's former bodyguard and driver Ronnie Dayan has been arrested in Pangasinan. Chief Inspector Joshua Maximo, officer in charge of the police station in Urbistondo town, says Dayan was arrested at around 7 this evening.
Pag receive natin doon sa warrant of arrest niya through email, immediately pinuntahan natin siya at in-implement po natin yung arrest warrant na yun. Hindi naman siya nag-resist. Sabi lang niya, expected ko naman ito. So, sumama naman siya kagad, ma'am.
Maximo says Dayan underwent the usual booking procedures, taking mugshot photos, fingerprints, and a medical exam. He adds Dayan will be sent back to Manila tomorrow. Dayan is also facing drug charges with Senator Leila de Lima and former Bureau of Corrections Chief Marcos Ragos. Now, once again, for those of you who are joining us now, the CIDG, or the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, is at the Senate, and they are ready to serve. They are getting ready to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. We're showing you live pictures of that. They are outside the office of Senator Leila de Lima. You're seeing the Senate hall there. Senator Leila de Lima did speak to the media just earlier tonight, saying that she plans to stay at the Senate tonight and she is ready to face the arresting team in the morning. She does not plan to hide or evade arrest. She was surprised, in fact, that the warrant of arrest was being served this evening, as it was agreed that this would be done tomorrow morning. Our Anna Stanislao spoke to us earlier, saying that the media was not being allowed in the office of the Sergeant at Arms, and they are still confirming the exact plans for this evening. Senator Leila de Lima earlier said that she wanted to go home tonight to see her family. Tonight, she is joined, in fact, by one of her sons. Our correspondent Camille Abadisha told us that one of her sons, Israel, is with her now, along with Leah Navarro. We also saw earlier former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman walking to the Senate. Now, let's take a look at de Lima's cases before the Muntinlupa court. Anja Alimario filed this report.
Ang pagkaalam ko po, this kind of offenses are not bailable because the penalty, if you are found guilty, is reclusion perpetua.
De Lima is facing 3 cases for violating the Dangerous Drugs Act in connection with her alleged involvement in the drug trade at the New Bilibid prison. Aguirre defends the filing of the cases with the lower court and not with the Sandigan Bayan.
These offenses belong to the exclusive original jurisdiction of the Regional Trial Court. Wala pong jurisdiction dito ang Sandigan Bayan.
Aguirre also says the complaint filed by the NBI against Kerwin Espinosa and De Lima was dismissed. This is in connection with Espinosa's allegation De Lima received money from him to fund her senatorial campaign. The DOJ panel instead directs the NBI to further investigate Kerwin's claim. The DOJ panel also dismissed the complaint against former Undersecretary Francisco Baraan due to insufficiency of evidence. Also, the charges against inmates Peter Co, Herbert Colango, and Gilberto Odurano, Jojo Baligad, and Vicente C. are dropped. They will serve as the prosecution's witnesses. Aguirre makes it clear there's nothing political in the filing of cases against De Lima.
Ito po ay hindi politika. Hindi po ito produkto ng politika. Ito po ay produkto ng trading sa droga.
Asked if he's confident De Lima will be convicted,
hindi po naman ito file ng National Prosecution Service kung hindi mayroong probability na ito'y na siya ay mahatulan.
De Lima, for her part, is expected to put up a legal battle to block her arrest. Anjali Mario, CNN Philippines.
Breaking news for you tonight. The CIDG team is at the Senate and they're getting ready to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. Earlier, we heard Senator Leila de Lima speaking to the media, saying that she was surprised at this move as it was agreed that the warrant of arrest would be served tomorrow morning. And she has asked for some time. She had wanted to spend some time with her family tonight, and she had gone home earlier and was surprised when they heard that the CIDG team was, in fact, on its way to her home to serve her the warrant of arrest. The team did make it to her home, but she was on her way to the Senate. We're showing you live pictures there on the left side of your screen. You see the media outside the Senate Hall, outside of Senator Leila de Lima's office. They're waiting for developments on this story. Our Ana Estanislaus was following the team earlier outside the Senate, and the media has not been allowed into the office of the Sergeant at Arms, and we are waiting for more information on this. It's also been confirmed that one of the senator's sons, Israel, is with her now at her office, as well as Leah Navarro and former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman. President Duterte said it took authorities months building their case against the senator. At the time, the president told the nation why he believes De Lima should be put behind bars. Ina Andalong runs through some of the things the president said about De Lima's alleged links to the trade.
Hoy, De Lima, kinig ka.
As far as President Duterte is concerned, authorities filed a strong case against Senator Leila de Lima. The president's tirades against De Lima started in the campaign. He often criticized her for failing to prove his alleged involvement in extrajudicial killings when he was mayor of Davao City. De Lima, as former Human Rights Commissioner and Justice Secretary, looked into the former mayor's alleged links to the so-called Davao Death Squad. Investigations never proved anything, and now the president is turning the tables. In September, he hinted at seeing De Lima behind bars for her alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade inside the New Bilibid prison.
But ito si De Lima, she screwed her driver and screwed the nation. Na naipit niya, gusto niya akong idamay. Makukulong man talaga yan siya. Sigurado yan because of the testimonial evidence.
President Duterte says drug money funded De Lima's senatorial campaign. He sees it as an indication that narco-politics has penetrated national politics. The president blames De Lima for letting drug lords operate inside Bilibid with the help of her former lover and driver Ronnie Dayan. The president also blames De Lima for tolerating parties, women, and even weapons for inmates.
All of this could have only happened if there was the go signal from the head of the department, which is the secretary.
Senator De Lima has consistently denied all the allegations and charges against her, saying these are part of political persecution. International human rights groups have expressed support for De Lima. They say the tough-talking president is just getting back at those who dare oppose him. President Duterte will likely remain unfazed. After all, his tirades have not exactly spared even his critics abroad. Ina Andolong, CNN Philippines.
For those of you just joining us, breaking news tonight, the CIDG, or the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, is at the Senate to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. The senator she went to the Senate earlier after having gone home to saying that she is ready to face the arresting team in the morning. She explains that she was quite surprised that the arresting team was serving the warrant of arrest tonight, as it was agreed that they would do so tomorrow morning. Earlier, when she spoke to the media at the Senate, she says that she just wants respect, and she has asked the arresting team, the other members of the CIDG, to hopefully respect her and serve the warrant of arrest in the morning. Our correspondent, Camille Abadisha, spoke to us earlier saying that it's confirmed that one of her sons, Israel, is with her right now. And earlier, the senator did say she had wanted to go home to spend time with her family before she had to collect her things and serve her time in prison. Senate President Coco Pimentel says that under the Senate policy, no arrest shall be made inside the Senate premises. He says law enforcers should coordinate with Senate security for any move to arrest De Lima.
Aming palisiya namin dyan, walang aresto sa loob ng Senate premises, hindi lamang habang sesyon o nasa plenary hall. Pero with coordination sa Senate security, pwede naman ma-enforce pa rin ang warrant of arrest kasi magko-comply naman yung subject ng arrest warrant O hindi naman po yan tatakas na mag-evade ng service ng arrest warrant. O siya po yung magko-comply pero coordination lang po at pagdating ng law enforcers sa Senate premises, hanapin nila dapat ang chief security at ipakita yung what is their business there. Ipakita yung arrest warrant. Then the chief security should now look for the subject person to show the arrest warrant and then mag-usap na what are the terms, how to serve the arrest warrant. Kasi iba-balance din natin yung duty naman ng mga police officers, utos kasi ng korte yan, for them to enforce the arrest warrant. And at the same time, we do not want any commotion inside the Senate premises kasi maraming mga government transactions dyan na nangyayari, maraming tao dyan na iba-ibang business nila, iba-ibang reason nila why they are in the Senate. So mayroong mga ibang businesses naman dyan na hindi naman puro it's about Leila de Lima. So walang disruption, walang commotion, walang physical incidents po dyan sa Senado dapat.
Meanwhile, House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez says it's high time for Senator De Lima to face the charges filed against her.
Halimbawa, mayroon kang ginawang krimen sa ating bansa, ay talagang kinakailangan pananagutan mo. Well, siguro nung mga panahon na yon na ginawa niya yon, well, akala niya ay pwedeng matakasan at siya na yung may kapangyarihang tao nung panahon na yon, since Justice Secretary siya. Well, bumaliktad lang siguro yung mundo talaga.
House Speaker Alvarez also suggests De Lima be detained in a mental institution instead. Liberal Party senators issue a statement condemning the impending arrest of fellow party member Senator Leila de Lima. The senators call her arrest the political persecution of a critic of the administration. They reiterate it is the Sandigan Bayan and not the regional trial court that has jurisdiction over the case. This is because the alleged crimes were supposedly committed when De Lima was Justice Secretary. The senators say they fear for De Lima's security, citing what happened to Albuera Mayor Rolando Espinosa and Korean businessman Ji Ik-ju. The two were killed inside police-controlled facilities. The senators went on to say that if the warrant of arrest is served, it would be a clear violation of legal proceedings and her constitutional right to due process. Breaking news tonight, the CIDG, or the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, is at the Senate to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. Now, just a bit of a background. The CIDG is the primary investigation arm of the Philippine National Police, and it monitors, investigates, and prosecutes all crime involving economic sabotage, like bank frauds, large-scale smuggling, or estafa, for example. Now, the CIDG also investigates all major cases involving the violation of the revised penal code. It conducts operations against notorious wanted persons and organized crime groups, particularly those engaged in armed robbery, kidnapping for ransom, gun for hire, and illegal possession and trafficking of firearms and explosives. And again, more background. Earlier today, just this morning, Senator De Lima was arrested for drug-related charges that were filed against her by the Department of Justice. And this is why the CIDG had gone to her home earlier to serve the warrant of arrest. And she had made her way to the Senate. Therefore, they followed her to the Senate to serve that warrant of the arrest. And we are waiting for developments on that story. And on your screens, you're seeing one of the pages of the warrant of arrest. Also, the CIDG provides direct support to the Philippine National Police field units in the investigation and solution of major crimes, especially those requiring specialized investigative techniques and intensive follow-up. Now, earlier this evening, just about 30 minutes ago, we heard from Senator Leila de Lima when she returned to the Senate, saying that she was surprised that the warrant of arrest was being served to her this evening, as it was agreed earlier that they would do so tomorrow morning. She had wanted time to collect her things and spend time with her family at home. Tonight, she is now joined by one of her sons at her office. This is a scene earlier when the senator was speaking to the media. We're joined now by one of our correspondents, Ana Estanislao. Ana, what's the latest from your end?
Hi, Mitzi. Well, we're still waiting for the officials to come outside of the office of the Sergeant at Arms, the Senate Sergeant at Arms. But just a few minutes ago, actually, I saw the Senate President, Coco Pimentel's executive assistant, Ron Munsayat. He entered the OSA just a few minutes ago, and we asked him if, it's possible that Senator De Lima's arrest warrant will be issued tonight in her office. And he says it's possible, yes, but that is why they will still have to discuss it. And again, we're still waiting for them. Now, the arresting officer that I have been mentioning with the last name Tamayo, he is the CIDG NCR chief, Senior Superintendent Belly Tamayo. Now, just a little bit of background, the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group is responsible for serving the arrest warrant of Senator Leila de Lima. Mitzi?
All right, Anna, earlier we heard the senator say that she plans to stay at the Senate until the morning, and she's ready to face the arresting team. Did you hear anything else from the Office of the Sergeant at Arms and whether they actually plan to stay there until the morning?
Well, actually, because it is behind closed doors, they're not even letting us enter inside. There's actually several offices inside the OSA, but everyone is still waiting here outside, here at the parking lot. But, we are prepared to wait for them to serve the warrant of arrest. So again, it's just a waiting game now. We still haven't heard any details from any of the Senate security or the arresting officers. I believe that the arresting officers are still standing by outside the Senate. Mitzi.
All right, thank you very much, Ana Estanislao there, giving us an update from the Senate. The breaking news for you tonight, the CIDG is at the Senate now to serve a warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. Earlier, they went to her house, but she wasn't there. She had made her way back to the Senate after having gone home to collect a few things and hoping to see her family. So you're seeing pictures of the scene earlier outside. You can see, of course, the media frenzy as the team, the CIDG team, was making its way into the Senate to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. Earlier, Leila de Lima also faced the media, saying that she was surprised that the warrant of arrest was being served tonight when it was already agreed that this would be done tomorrow morning. Now, this is a developing story. We are still waiting for more information. As Ana Estanislao just told us now, the media is not being allowed inside as the OSA or the Office of the Sergeant at Arms discusses or has a meeting behind closed doors. We are waiting for more information, and we will bring that to you as soon as it becomes available. Several convicts turned witnesses faced the House Committee on Justice last year. They linked De Lima to the illegal drug trade inside and outside the Bilibid while she was still Justice Secretary. Joyce Ilas gives us a look back.
Several Bilibid inmates faced the House Committee on Justice investigating the proliferation of drug syndicates at the new Bilibid prison during the term of former Justice Secretary Leila de Lima. During the probe, alleged Bilibid drug lord J.B. Sebastian admitted that he gave De Lima, whom he called a protector, a total of 10 million peso worth of drug money from 2014 to 2015. Sebastian said the money was to be used for De Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Sinabi ko kay Secretary De Lima, ma'am, may bigay ako sa iyong pera, paano to? Kay Junel ko ba iabot? Sumagot naman si Secretary De Lima na hindi ko kasama si Junel ngayon, iwan mo na lang dyan.
Another witness, convicted drug lord Herbert Colango, claimed he gave De Lima 3 million pesos monthly to allow the entry of contraband inside the Bilibid. He said he also gave her 1 million pesos every time he held a concert inside the Bilibid.
Ang tatawag sa amin yan ay PR Payula po. Para lahat ng gusto namin mga kontrabando ipapasok. Golf cart, motor de corriente.
Other inmates also claimed personally giving De Lima millions worth of drug money.
Inabot ko na kay Secretary De Lima ang kahon na may lamang 1.5 million. At sinabi ko, ma'am, ito na po. Kinuha ito ni Secretary at inabot sa lalaking sumalubong sa akin.
I said, good morning, ma'am. She said, hi, Rafi. As long as we entered and Ronnie handed the black bag. And she accepted it.
Other convicts meanwhile claimed that Sebastian and Colango ordered them to sell drugs inside and outside the Bilibid to fund De Lima's 2016 senatorial campaign.
Alam ko na direktang para kay Secretary Leila de Lima mismo ang 1,500,000 piso at ito'y taasang inamin ni Herbert Colango sa akin.
De Lima's former driver turned lover Ronnie Dayan said he received money from alleged drug lord Kerwin Espinosa for De Lima. Dayan, however, said he did not know that Espinosa was a drug lord or how much money Espinosa was giving De Lima.
Inaabot ko ang mga ito kay ma'am pagdating sa bahay. Sa mismong kwarto, automatic na po yan.
In the end, some congressmen seemed to be convinced that De Lima may have been involved in the illegal drug trade.
Here is a woman pretending to be clean, pretending to be a crime buster, a graft buster, a self-proclaimed righteous individual. Kailangan nating ipakita sa taong bayan kung anong klaseng tao ito.
But others question the motives and the inconsistencies in the statements of convicts turned witnesses.
Para sa akin kasi gusto mo lang sabihin yung pwede mong sabihin, pero yung pwede mong itago, itatago mo.
For De Lima, the statements of convicts were nothing but lies meant to destroy her.
My reputation has been untarnished until now when it's being unfairly and unjustly besmirched by all of these fabricated lies about my alleged involvement in the drug trade.
In October, the House Committee on Justice ruled in its report that all of the evidence pointed to De Lima's involvement and possible accountability in the illegal drug activities. Joyce Ila, CNN Philippines.
Once again, breaking news for you tonight. The CIDG team is at the Senate, ready to serve the warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. Now, the Office of the Sergeant at Arms has said that it is possible that the senator may be arrested tonight, but a meeting is still ongoing to discuss this. This is happening behind closed doors, and our Ana Estanislao tells us that the media has not been allowed into the premises, so we are awaiting more information on that. Earlier, we heard from Senator Leila de Lima facing the media saying that she was surprised the arrest warrant is being served tonight because it was agreed that this would be done tomorrow. You're seeing pictures earlier of the senator facing the media. She had gone home earlier to collect her things and was hoping to see her family, but she was unable to do so at home. But when she went to the Senate, saying that she would be spending the night there, ready to face the arresting team tomorrow, she was joined by her supporters, one of them being her son, Israel. He is with her now at her office. It's said that Leah Navarro is also there, one of her supporters. And another supporter, former DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman, was seen walking into the Senate. We are waiting for more information on this developing story. We have correspondents on our correspondent standing by for more information, and we will bring that to you as it becomes available. Once again, it is possible, according to the Office of Sergeant-at-Arms, that Senator Leila de Lima will be arrested tonight, but they are still discussing this behind closed doors. You're seeing pictures there of the warrant of arrest that was just issued earlier today. CNN Philippines research team looked into the profiles of the judges handling de Lima's cases. Judge Juanita Tomas Guerrero heads Branch 204. She's also the trial court's executive judge. Guerrero handled two high-profile cases, that of the so-called Alabang Boys and the murder case of Rolito Go. Judge Amelia Fabros Corpus leads Branch 205. She also served at the Manila and Pasig Regional Trial Courts. During her term at the Manila RTC, she was charged with gross ignorance of the law and grave abuse of discretion, but it was later on dismissed by the Supreme Court. Judge Parcia Manalastas de Leon leads Branch 206. She's the wife of Court of Appeals Associate Justice Magdangal de Leon. In June 2015, she ordered the arrest of the alleged leader of a gun-for-hire and carnapping syndicate. She also handled the case of a judge at the Muntinlupa court who allegedly made untruthful statements in his certificates of service. For those of you just joining us once again, breaking news tonight, the CIDG, which is the main investigative body of the PNP, is at the Senate ready to serve a warrant of arrest to Senator Leila de Lima. And it is possible, they say, according to the Office of the Sergeant-at-Arms, that the arrest will be made tonight, but they are still meeting about this behind closed doors. This has been breaking news on CNN Philippines. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mitzi Borromeo. Good night.